Hello guys, welcome back to Garage Football. Here's our live watch along for Everton versus West Ham in the Premier League at Goodison Park. So if you're new to Garage Football, please subscribe to us and let us know your match thoughts, comments, etc. throughout the game in the live chat. It'd be great to read those. So Dennis, thanks for joining, mate. It feels like half a lifetime ago since that Brentford game a few weeks ago for the national break. But look forward to today's game, mate.
Oh, I can't. I've only just forgotten about it. But yeah, looking forward to it today, mate. I'm liking the fact that Sky Sports are actually giving us some form of coverage before the game, which is very rare. Normally they just mention our lineup and go, "Well, West Ham are playing today."
Yeah, you know it, mate. But I think it'd be a tough one. I know Everton have got a couple of injuries, but still, like they've got players who are absolutely outstanding form. Andros Townsend, Demarai Gray being two of them. But yeah,
Corey as well, who they're currently comparing to Rice.
Yeah, no, he's been very good for him as well. But it'd be a tough. Obviously, we beat Everton at Goodison Park last season, but I mean that was different circumstances, no fans during that game. But
it was also peak shithousery. That I remember, it was like a cross that was going wide, and Soucek just was in the right place at the right time to tap it. It was great. Yeah, I mean, look, Everton are always going to be tough opposition. In recent years, we've done a bit better at Goodison, but I remember Goodison being a place where we'd be, if you get a draw, that's a fantastic result for us, historically. But in recent years, we've picked up a couple of wins there, so hoping for more today.
Yeah, but I think it's one of those classic games where something sort of give, or you'd think so anyway, because Everton have had a great start, to the season in general, but especially at Goodison Park. They had their home record was absolutely woeful last season under Carlo Ancelotti, but Rafa Benitez got the fans on side and they've had a great start at home. And West Ham, the two games we've lost that have been at the London Stadium, but away from home, again, we're unbeaten. So you don't think somebody's got a gift today?
And I mean, obviously, it's a little bit early because quite historically, some teams do really, really well coming into October, and we go, "Oh, maybe the fans were wrong," and then they tail off and end up finishing 12th. It's happened to us in the 14-15 season. But I'm hoping the Everton fans that were kicking off and burning tickets and stuff like that when Rafa got appointed are, a bit sheepish right now because they have had a very good start. No doubt Ancelotti laid the framework for that, but they've made a fantastic start. But so have we. And, realistically, we have a striker against playing against Man United and an actual referee against Brentford, and we probably win both of those games we lost.
Yeah.
So I mean, today's referee, as I mentioned before we come on, is not a lot better. We have the infamous Stuart Ghost Goal Atwell.
I still can't believe that.
Oh, it's not an isolated incident for him messing things up. I'll never forget the first time there was a game I watched where Atwell happened to be the referee again at Watford, like many years later. It was about 5 years ago now, and it just was the Stuart Atwell show. Everything he did was met with like sarcastic applause. Everyone started shouting "goal" whenever like a shot went wide, no matter which side it was. It was just hilarity, and he had no control over the game. He's just a terrible referee, mate. Hopefully the VAR person is switched on today.
Yeah, whoever that is. Yeah. All right. Well, let's run through the lineups for both teams. So start off with the home side Everton. So a couple of changes for them after the draw at Man United before the international break, where Townsend scored that goal and the infamous Ronaldo Sue celebration, which was absolutely shithousery, peak shithousery, as you like to say, Dennis. So let's go with Everton's lineup. So it looks like 4-4-1-1. Pickford in goal, Coleman, Godfrey, Keane, and Digne's the back four. Midfield of Townsend, as I mentioned, Decore, Alan, and Alex Iwobi, and then Demarai Gray is playing off Solomon Rondon with Calvert-Lewin still injured, of course. So let's go to our team, West Ham. 4-2-3-1 as usual. Fabianski in goal. Ben Johnson in for Soufal today, who's injured. Zuma, Ogbonna, Cresswell, Soucek and Rice holding. Attacking three of Bowen, Benrahma, and Fornells, and the main man Mikel and Tony up front. Your thoughts on the lineup, mate?
Well, look, my only concern is a concern a lot of people had on Twitter about Souček. You know, he's not in fantastic form. He was not very good against Brentford at all, and he's played 180 minutes for the Czech Republic recently, and there's no centre midfield option on the bench really. Wouldn't be comfortable with Lanzini coming in for him in the second half if he's knackered or pulls up or anything. So that's my main concern. I'm glad. Obviously, I'd much rather Souval be playing for talent wise, but glad to see Ben Johnson playing at right back because it's very rare we get to see him play in his natural position. Normally, it's a auxiliary left back or, strangely enough, a left winger sometimes. But you know, it is. You know, it's not a bad lineup. It is probably the best lineup we could have with the players available. I mean, the only improvement is at right back, really. Yeah. And we do have a couple of options off the bench in Vlasic. You know, roll your eyes, but Yarmolenko, he is an option. His left foot. Yeah. And I mean, that being said, against Everton, I can't really see him or Lanzini being too effective, really, with the way they play. Personally, so Masuaku might be seen as more of an attacking option on the bench, maybe coming on as a left winger later on. I don't know, but it's a very defensive bench. Thankfully, just one goalkeeper though.
Yeah, that's a constant. What about Everton, mate? I mean, I've mentioned a couple of players. Bargain Simons in today's football in terms of outlay. Demarai Gray.
Demarai Gray is a player that I thought we should have been all over personally for the money.
Yeah.
If we weren't going to get Lingard, for example, for I think it was £1.5 million they got him for. That's a bargain, and it's very extremely low risk, which I believe was the argument when we signed Perez. Oh, it's only 4 million. It's low risk. Caption 100 grand a week.
Yeah.
Interesting because they've not got Calvert-Lewin up top. They've got Rondon instead. And although I rate Rondon, I'd much rather play against Rondon than Calvert-Lewin. Calvert-Lewin is the type of striker we don't like playing against.
Yeah, but Calvert-Lewin's injured, isn't he?
But you know, I'm not 100% convinced by their defense. I mean, Coleman's getting on a bit. I don't know enough about Godfrey to comment, if I'm being very honest with you.
He was at Norwich, wasn't he?
Yeah, I was saying I just don't know enough about him really to say whether Antonio will be good against him. But you know, Keane's going to have his work cut out if he's not up to scratch. And you know, Antonio has been rested this international break, whereas he looked knackered against Brentford. But for me, the main player for Everton is Decore. Having watched him play a little bit at Watford, he is a fantastic player. Again, the type of midfield before we signed Souček, the type of midfielder we were crying out for. When he went to Everton, you know, I think we should have at least made some effort to get him that summer. But Decore is going to be an interesting one. How our midfield copes with him, you know, he's the type of player that you know I think he's on a very similar level to Rice, just many years older. And it's going to be an interesting battle, in my opinion.
Yeah, agreed, mate. So great to see the crowd at Goodison Park for us, I would assume, but. Yeah, so who were the players to look out for Everton? I know you mentioned a couple, but was it just more like how well they've had a couple of standout players, but like as a team they're all playing well, and Benitez they're very hard to beat, which at times Everton, especially at home, were too easy to play against last season.
Yeah, definitely, and you got players that may not be the best players, but they're in fantastic form at the minute. Townsend, Gray. You know, and Iwobi hasn't exactly been sensational, but he's not been bad either.
Yeah.
Digny's always a threat, and again, we've got a keeper option. It depends which Jordan Pickford turns up.
Yeah, I think he's been rejuvenated this calendar year. I thought it was excellent for him in the Euros. I think he's carried it on for Everton. He's just cutting out the silly mistakes. He's always been a talented keeper, but had so many brain fades and made silly mistakes for no reason, but he's cut down. He's proven to be a top keeper.
Yeah, definitely. But for us, I just see it depends. If Mickey's rested and full of energy, I think he's going to cause some problems defensively, and I think that's where we can do it. And it just depends how our midfield nullify Decore. That's where the game's going to be, in my opinion. Which Mickey turns up, and obviously to an asterisk, which, you know, how good Everton's defence are going to be, and then how do we handle Decore, because he is in top form at the minute.
Yeah, no, agreed, mate. Yeah, so the players are about to come out. Are you watching on Sky Go?
I've got Now TV, so at the minute we've got Michael Keane sniffing what I'm assuming is smelling salts.
Oh, right. Yeah, so the players are about to come out. So, while the players are lined up on the pitch, I mean, what's your score prediction for today?
2-2.
Yeah, I was going to go with that as well.
Yeah, I'm just thinking it's going to be. I think there's going to be goals in this game, and again, like both teams, good start. One fantastic at home, one fantastic away. I reckon it's going to be a 2-2 draw.
Yeah, I think it'd be nice and nice and open. Probably say attacking wise, more of both teams' strengths rather than defensively. But we'll see. Oh, we've got another guest in there. He is. Tommy, how you doing, mate?
Not too bad, folks. How are we?
Yeah, fine, thanks, mate. Yeah, look forward to this one. I mean, what are your thoughts on that? Just about 3-4 minutes to kick on. What are your thoughts? It should be a tough game for West Ham today, I reckon.
Yeah, it'll be a challenge. Everton have improved a bit under Benitez, had a decent start to the season. It's a 50-50 game, I think, really. Sorry, it's great timing from my mum calling me.
It's Rafa giving you a ring. Moisey.
But it's a 50-50 game, really. It's hard to predict what could happen here, but happy with the lineup. I mean, it's our strongest 11 barring Sofal, who obviously just wasn't good to go. It's an impossible one to call. Both teams are capable of playing very well, but equally, both teams are capable of being quite average. So this really is a game that could go either way. Any result is possible today.
Yeah, I mean, me and Dennis have both predicted 2-2.
She's persistent.
If the West Ham are persistent all game, so they're going to need it.
Well, there's a question I was about to ask you, Bill, before Tommy came on, but I can ask both of you. It's the goalkeeper situation, and I'm not saying situation because obviously there was a lot of anger towards Fabianski for the second goal at Brentford. I don't know how justified that was, but there was lots of talk of Areola coming in after the international break. What are your guys thinking about Fabianski sticking between the sticks? Are you with that, or do you think maybe it would have been time to give Areola a shot after his performance against United?
Do you want to go first, Tommy, on that one?
I've been looking for Areola to start for a while now because he's a keeper I actually really rate. I really like Areola. I think he's a better keeper than Fabianski. So I would be starting him personally. I can understand David Moyes. He does tend to be loyal to players. So I can understand why Moyes is sticking with Fabianski. I mean, it's not like Fabianski's been poor. I still think Fabianski is a good keeper. He's still a very good shot stopper, Fabianski, I think, but he just doesn't command his area as well as he might for me. And I think Areola is better at him at that. And I think Areola also has better distribution. So for those reasons, I'd rather see Areola in the side. But it's not like Fabianski is like some huge liability where I lose sleep about is Fabianski going to start? It's not like when we had who in goal. So look,
which one? Narrow it down because there's a couple.
It's been a few. Talking about Roberto, but but no, Fabianski. Look, I don't have a problem with it being the goal. I'd go with Areola personally, but I have no issue with Fabianski starting in goal. He's still a very solid keeper for us.
Yeah, agreed, mate. Right, we are underway. Are you watching it live, Tom? Are you going to be behind like Dennis?
I will be behind because I am watching it live, but I'm watching it on Now TV.
Oh, same here. Dennis, yeah. We've got like a 30-second time delay because we're about to take the knee where we are.
Well, we've kicked off now. But...
Yeah, West Ham on the attack. 30 seconds in. Souček crosses it. And it comes off Bowen. If it was a light touch from Souček, Bowen might have had a chance to get a shot on.
Yeah. You watching it on Sky Plus, Bill?
Sky Sports. Yeah, I'm watching it live, yeah.
So you can pause yours, can't you?
I can do, yeah. But
So I'll tell you that, like, if we can all... Oh, see, I can't pause mine. I think Dennis is even further behind than I am. So
well, I've just had Pickford kick it out to Digney. I'm on like 23 seconds. Bowen's just nicked it off him.
No, I was pausing it. I mean, I've left it on 1 minute 10.
Yeah, cool. I'm on 50 seconds now. So
good call, man.
We're gonna
before.
We're going to have a lot of spoilers from Bill, I'm afraid, again.
That's all right. So I've paused it for 1 minute. Let me know what 1 minute 10, and I'll get going.
I'll let you know.
I'll still be like 10, 15 seconds behind, but that's
6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Here we go. All right.
Great. So
I'm on 55 seconds. So I'm only a little bit behind you, rather than like a good minute. So that's
yeah.
good.
So it helps. Yeah. So
yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Just a bit scrappy at the minute. So
yeah, not missing much, Dennis, at the moment.
I mean, we've got Everton got a throw in where I am. So
no.
While Johnson's flying forward.
Oh,
great block by Digne though.
Yeah.
And Iwobi's running forward with it.
Good interception from Rice.
Yeah, very good. Very, very good.
Yeah. So nothing much to report so far, but obviously very early days. But
this is one for you, Tommy. I mean, Dennis asked a great question earlier. What would you make of Souček? I mean, I think against Brentford, I think that's one of the worst displays since he's joined. I think probably because he's absolutely knackered. Oh, good cross in!
Yeah,
needed to get into that one.
Antonio was almost on the end of that.
Cresswell.
Good ball in, low-driven cross from Cresswell, looking for Antonio at the far post, but just too much on it. Souček, obviously, look, his form has been poor, and like you say, against Brentford, I mean, I thought he was absolutely shocking. I don't know how many times he gave the ball away. I lost count. So, yes, there's two ways of looking at this kind of thing. When you have a top-class player in your team who's an important cog in the team who loses form, you either say to yourself, okay, look, we're going to let him play through this and rediscover his form, and hopefully because we keep playing him, he'll come through it sooner rather than later. Or you can just say, right, I'm going to bench him because I have someone that I trust to replace him, who I think can perform better than he's performing right now. And then, when he starts really showing it in training again, that his form is back, then I can pop him back in. But I suspect Moyes doesn't obviously trust Král quite enough, and Souček has built up probably enough credit with David Moyes that he's going to allow him to just play through it. It's hard to know what's the best thing to do. We could end up, Souček could go and score a brace today, and
exactly,
so I'm inclined to stick with a player when they're out of form. I think, Souček is such a good player for such an important player. That I think if he's playing, he'll come through this little spell sooner rather than later. Yeah, and especially with Král isn't even on the bench today, is he? So,
or Noble. Me and Dennis were chatting before we got started. They must be having knocks away because we've got no central midfield option, maybe apart from Lanzini, but in defensive capacity, we haven't got that in midfield.
Yeah, I think it was a moot point today. I think he had to play today. But I would play him anyway, even though his form isn't good. Okay, got an option here. Play. Antonio just.
Mickey's done well there.
Antonio just could have popped that ball out to Souček and just never saw him, never got turned. But we're looking quite lively actually here.
Yeah. Early bright start from us. Plenty of possession.
Yeah.
Passing it, pinging it around nicely. I mean, we.
If you notice, actually, we were just talking about Rice and Souček. Souček is actually playing quite far forward. And Rice looks he's sitting a little deeper.
I think they've swapped back. I think Moyes has realised that with Rice going a bit further forwards or sitting a bit further forwards, it's really affected Souček's game because he's not. Although he's, the FIFA lot will say he's a defensive midfielder. It's very tough to define what both of them are.
Yeah. It does look that way at the moment, like Rice is going to sit a little deeper today, and Souček has got freedom to roam because when Antonio picked up the ball there a minute ago, Souček was on his left-hand side, flying past him, looking for a slip through.
I've noticed something else which could be just a coincidence, but I'm just going to say anyway. I've noticed Zuma is a lot further forward on the defensive line than Ogbonna. Now, my theory is maybe...
Bowen's in on the right. Bowen crosses it.
He was just looking for Fornals, but it was well cut out.
Oh, Coleman.
Yeah, I'm just
rolling back the years. Hey, mate. How's it going, mate?
Hello, mate. Hello, guys. Thank you for the invite. I do appreciate it. How are you doing?
Yeah, fine, thanks. We were just saying it's been a positive 5 minutes, 5-6 minutes from a West Ham point of view. Playing of the ball, pinging it around nicely, and a much better start than Brentford before the international break. Just couldn't get things going in the first half. Been much better.
I think absolutely diabolical half against Brentford. One of the few times going back to last season that we absolutely looked shell-shocked from the start now. And I think definitely for the team knowing that Calvert-Lewin, Richarlison's out, definitely has given us a little bit more freedom at the back. They're pressing a lot less. And definitely with Antonio knows that he's not going to have a battle against Mina, so I think he'll get right in there today.
Yeah, great points, mate. Just come up with the possession. West Ham 82%, which is not a surprise. I remember the last time we actually went to Everton or someone like one of the better sides and just absolutely dominated for the first 6-7 minutes. Anyway.
So yeah, just seeing it again with the defense. I think they're possibly thinking of if they get caught on the counter, Zuma has a bit more pace, so having him a bit more forward and having Ogbonna sit back on the edge of the area.
Oh, good ball forward. Yeah,
and I'm not sure how that would work moving forwards. Though.
I think they pushed it up because obviously, you know, Rondon, he's not going to get him behind, is he? So, no, Gray's got a bit of pace, but I mean, he's not leading the line, so they're taking a couple of yards further forward than they would normally. Ball comes in. Oh, well cleared by Alan, I think it was. He's had another good season there alongside Decore in that midfield. That's a real. It usually is a battle of midfields in any match, particularly Premier League. Rice Suche against Alan and Decore. That's a tasty midfield battle. Johnson crosses it.
Yeah, that's a keeper's ball all day long. Yeah, it's just I think floated ball in. It was keepers all day long.
I think I'm about 30 seconds ahead of you guys.
Yeah, are you Matt? Are you watching on Sky as well?
Yes, mate. Yes, I am. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe do what Bill did and pause it until we kind of catch up.
I've done it, Matt, where I've paused it so the others catch up.
Yeah. Perfect.
Pause it and tell us what time you're on, Matt. Yeah.
Okay. Right now I'm on 8:50. What time are you guys on?
Okay. I'll count it down, and when I hit 8:50, you start up again. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll do that.
Yeah, good
All right.
show.
I'll just give you a countdown in a second. All right. 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50.
Oh, Antonio's running through. Oh, that's got to be a foul.
That's a foul. That's a free kick. That's in a good spot. This is Cresswell territory. This
Cresswell, yeah.
Oh, Antonio, brilliant run there. I mean, they couldn't get. He got the ball, took it past Alan to start with. Great turn. They couldn't get near him, and then Keane. Oh,
yeah, definitely.
On second view, was that a foul?
Yes, looked like he caught his foot. It depends on the angles. Some angles look like there wasn't. Oh, Antonio got booked for diving, did he?
Yeah, it's been given the other way.
It looked like he kicked the floor.
Live, it looked like it was a certain foul, but on the replay, I don't think he actually caught him. So I think it looks like a good decision by Stuart Atwell, the referee.
Yeah. It's been a good start, though. With lots of possession, and they haven't really troubled us. Another really great interception from Rice. I do love it when Rice is sitting there. I have to say, he's so good at breaking up the play.
Remember.
Johnson's getting a lot of touches already. Bowen's got a good cross with his right foot. Good header. Cornels.
Come on. Good ball in, Cress. Oh, hit it. Oh,
Benrahma takes it first time. Could he have taken a touch?
Yeah, he could have. He had enough time. He had enough space.
All the space in the world there.
Yeah, he did. But it's great to see all the players getting plenty of touches and one in the ball, which is good to see. Cresswell, decent ball in. Well cut. But I can see why he wanted to take it first time, but on reflection, probably shouldn't have done. Maybe maybe didn't realise he had more time than what.
it was like the cross that Johnson put in the first couple of minutes where he hit it first time, and they almost hit from the counter. The same with Cresswell there. I mean, there's time to just take that touch.
It's another one ball one at the bench.
Tell you what, we're having a lot of joy down that right hand side though.
Yeah, without a doubt.
You know, with Johnson and Bowen.
Well, I think because maybe because Dinya's a good left back, but I think they got Iwobi in front of him who's in and out the side, and obviously defensively, that's not his strength. It's going forward.
Yeah, and we're in. It wasn't a great
the right
ball,
but Dinya's cut that one out.
Yeah,
smashes it out.
I'm surprised Iwobi came back in, to be honest, because I watched the Man United game, and that young, I think it was Gordon. He filled in for Iwobi, and he looked quite good actually. So I'm surprised.
Gordon. Is it Gordon?
Anthony Gordon. Yeah,
Anthony Gordon. He's
good.
Yeah, is he on the bench? I'm going to go let Dennis back.
Yeah. He is. Yeah.
Oh, he is.
That damned internet.
Yeah, West Ham. Well, did you see Ben Rama's chance, Dennis? Oh no, you wouldn't have, would you, if you hadn't that's gone?
I've got Rice on the ball. Now TV is buffering. We're back with Zuma on the ball. I'm at 11:55.
Are you not? Well, you're about 20 seconds behind. Not too.
Like
Yeah, it's fine. So what happened with Ben Rama's chance?
Yeah, so hang on. Well cleared by Decore, I think it was. So I think it was either Johnson or Bowen put a ball on the right, end up with Cresswell, then it come out to Ben Rama on the edge of the box. He took it first time, blazed it over, and probably should have set a touch, but good.
Ball bounced in front of him, and he kind of hit it while it was on the up and skied it, whereas he needed to just take a quick little touch and then maybe try one of his little curlers or something. He had a little bit more time than he thought.
Yeah, no, exactly. Maybe didn't get a shout.
He needed a shout because he kind of snatched at it in the end.
Yeah, he did.
Well, we've also Dennis got a yellow card for Antonio while you were gone.
Oh, that's nice.
He got booked for diving. And on reflection, I think it was a good decision. Because
he
live, it looked like he just absolutely wiped him out, but on the replay, it looked like he got nowhere near him. So
that's nice. He's in my fantasy team, so that's another point lost. Cheers, Mickey.
Hopefully, we'll bang a hat trick in to compensate for it.
No. We need 4 goals to compensate for this. But then I have to then.
I won't complain about that, mate.
The problem is, if he does that, then I have to rue that I didn't make him my captain.
Yeah, decisions, mate. Decisions.
I will say something that I do think that even though Rice is a wonderful captain.
Oh, Stochek stolen the ball.
No. Just didn't fall for him.
I do think that we need Rice to step up a little bit more with the referees. That's what we miss out with Noble. Noble was always very good at talking to the referees, getting something there, and I don't think Rice has got that. Because, for example, if Noble had been on the pitch, gone close to the referee, I don't think Antonio would have got the yellow card. But it just looked like no one. I'm just watching it back, and absolutely no one got involved. I think that's something that we.
Same with Jamie Carragher when he was at Liverpool, mate. He was always in the referees' ear constantly.
I think the referees might have understood Noble a little bit more, though.
True. I love your cross.
Well, especially we can take advantage of Rice with his England position. Maybe you can put a little bit more pressure on the ref, considering now the state of it.
Yeah, good show,
Jesus Christ, what was that?
After all that good play, and absolutely, Ben Rama, not his best couple of minutes.
No, that's an awful ball from Ben Rama. Absolutely horrific.
Yeah, that's cool.
Overhit that by about 30 yards.
Yeah, and the rest.
Oh, Jesus. I've just had it now. It's close to corner flag.
Yeah, man. Yeah, not good at all.
Very positive start, but we kind of, this is the kind of period of play where you feel like you want to go 1-0 up here. You want to find the goal.
It's the classic old saying: you score when you're on top.
Yeah.
Because at some point Everton will improve and we'll get into the game. But so far, you have to say, defensively, it's been a very easy game for us. We've been completely dominant in midfield.
Without that, good ball. Oh, the ball was.
protester speaking right on the moment there. Not before.
Goldman's flying forward. Oh, good ball by Rondon out wide. Ball comes in. Townsend back post. Whoa! Iwobi nearly got on the end of that one. Lovely ball by Townsend.
The good thing Iwobi's no left foot, so no danger there.
Link up
To be fair, to be fair, Johnson had it covered. I think.
I think he did.
He just allowed it to run out of play.
The one thing I'm surprised is how wide open Everton are. You know, for Rafa Benitez team, they are wide open defensively. A lot of space behind their fullback. You know, real.
Yeah, we're getting a lot of joy out wide. So,
I mean, just
we're dominating midfield at the moment.
One thing I just want to say quick, Bill, we're having the situation again where we can't see the comments that people are commenting. So people watching, we're not ignoring you. We can't see the comments for some bizarre reason.
No, can you see what people are saying, Dennis?
I'm going to be honest, there actually isn't any question. It's more just statements about the game. About Jared Bowen has got that I am in love face is the last comment. I don't, if I'm honest with you, Jazz, I don't know what you mean by that.
He's with Danny Dyer, isn't he? With that, what's her name? Danny Dyer, the young Danny Dyer's girl. They saw him leaving the same hotel room with her. So I guess she's quite.
Oh yeah, I saw that. Yeah, I saw that the other day.
So, I'm gonna be honest, I didn't hear a word of that.
Is that your boxing question? Women weaken legs. So.
So kind of 18 minutes, and it's been a real positive start from West Ham. The only thing missing is a goal. Everything else been good. Defensively, kept the ball really well, create some chances. Just missing the goal. That's all we're. And the thing about Brentford in the second half, we did it, and hence we were a lot better. But in the first half, the amount of second balls we didn't win, Tony and Buemo, Canos in midfield or whatever, they kept winning the second balls, and we did it in the second half, hence we improved massively. But from the first whistle, we've winning the challenges and in the second balls as well.
Yeah, I think Johnson's had a good start. I'm really actually glad to see him start in his natural position today. Just want to see how he does.
Definitely.
But so far he's looked really good, Johnson. I have to say, that's another really great bit of play from him there.
Yeah, that's very good. I think he looked impressive, Tommy, against Rapid Vienna in the Europa League when he played at right back.
Obviously, away at Goodison Park, this is obviously a step up, and he's looked really good so far. I have to say, I've always liked Johnson. I think it's a shame for him, not for us, but for him that we signed Sofal and he's been so good because it's kind of meant a lot less game time for Johnson. Oh, well done, Solskjaer. And
that was good.
It's good to see Johnson get a chance today. Because I think if Fredericks had been fit, Moyes would have gone with Fredericks. But I'm actually glad to see Johnson. I would like to see Johnson as the understudy now to Sofal. To be honest,
I think Fredericks is going in summer on a free transfer at this. As it stands. Oh, well done, Stuart. I'm going to praise Stuart Atwell there. He didn't give a foul against Soucek, so I can't believe my eyes. Stuart Atwell made one good refereeing decision.
The one or two.
The first one I think I've ever seen.
Or Pickford punches out well. Comes out to Benrahma, is it?
Yeah.
Lovely ball. If Bowen is onside.
Bowen with the ball into the area.
Fornells didn't get the right connection.
Ooh. Yeah. Well, to be fair, it was a good block from the centre back. I didn't see who got the block on it.
Yeah.
But it's a shame. If he could have just guided that more towards the far post, it would have had a great chance.
Yeah, clear the contact, that's on target, and Pickfast made a save.
Yeah.
Here we go. Pass in the final third.
They've completed 5 and we've completed 44.
Yeah.
One thing I want to say, because I've just had the 4-0 shot, is that Bowen put the ball in from the left and then showed up on the right to put another ball in.
Yeah.
Like, he did not stop chasing the ball in that situation.
Well, that's been happening the whole game, actually, where Benrahma and Bowen have both been popping up on either wing. They clearly have the freedom to move across over and back, which is good because it means Antonio is staying more central. Antonio hasn't really been popping up out wide.
And that's something that, as Bill knows, really irks me whenever I watch him play. He's our main striker, yet he's the one having to put the balls in half the time.
Everton have got some space in midfield here.
So is the Corey plays out wide? Behind Iwobi. Not the best ball.
That was good for us because it just held Everton up for a few seconds.
Iwobi shoots. That's an awful shot, but it's Samuel Beckett to him. Great block. Didn't crosses
you see that?
She does.
There can be Bowen's headless chicken pressing. I love his effort there, but if you look there, we just got out of shape between Bowen and Ben Johnson, and he was able to get in a very dangerous position there.
Great challenge there from Ogbonna.
We got very lucky with Iwobi's shot. I've just had it, and it was going absolutely nowhere.
That was totally wide as anything.
Notice Townsend went down like a fucking ton of bricks there. No yellow card for him for his dive.
He's all pumped up with Ronaldo goal and celebration.
Yeah, that was peak shit housery, that celebration against Man United, wasn't it? You love to see it.
I do love that United fans have spent all summer saying West Ham fans are deluded and entitled. All you do is hate your owners, even though you got Europe. Declan Rice is only worth £60 million. Lingard got you Europe. He's worth £120 million. They lose 2 games of football. Ollie out. Ollie's disgraced to Man United. This team should be winning the quadruple. Don't change, United fans. Don't change.
United fans are completely irrelevant to me. I don't care what they have to say one way or the other.
I lived with one for 3 years, mate.
I don't lose one wink of sleep.
He isn't as bad as they can be, but he does seem to think Phil Jones is the answer to all of West Ham's problems. And I'm just you could have Phil Jones to replace Declan Rice. Declan Rice plays in a holding midfield. Phil Jones can play holding midfield. No, he fucking can't. He can't play football at the minute because he's injured all the time.
I don't know who this dude is you're talking about, but you need to tell him to stop talking to you.
Block him.
I just tell him to get off of FIFA for 10 minutes sometimes.
That's the worst take I've ever heard.
Yeah. Oh no, I've heard a lot. I've heard a lot worse. The worst thing is actually the same guy. He said to me, I watched the United game with him in the pub, and he said, "I think it'd be really nice for your fans if Lingard could score today, so you could all thank him." And he wasn't even saying that to be like sarky. He was being serious. He was like, "Oh well, if Lingard scores, you can give him a round of applause. That'll be a nice thing. Your fans will enjoy that." I'm like, "No, we'd rather fucking win the game, you bellend."
Amazingly, Everton have had more shots at goal than us, and we've dominated this game so far. That's we've got to sort that out now. We've got to start getting some shots on target.
Definitely. I think Antonio needs to start doing what he did in the second half against Brentford, which is more horizontal movement across the pitch, dragging centre backs wide and allowing the front three to get in those spaces. Because like he did when he drew the foul, running across the defender, which eventually got given against him. But those kind of movements is what we need to do a little bit more, because this tricky football on the wings, unfortunately, with the balls that we're putting in, with the crosses, hasn't really come to fruition so far.
Yeah, we're playing well. It's just that final ball that needs to be there. Yeah.
And we should take advantage that Mina's not there, because Mina is one of those guys that is a real shithouse. He's the kind of guy that can make 5-6 fouls before he gets a yellow card. He's a real piece of work.
Yeah, they're just showing him there now. Actually, right as you were talking about him, he was on screen.
Yeah. That's why I thought about it.
All right. So I think we're pretty happy so far. Just nothing happening in front of goal really. So just need to sharpen up there. But performance-wise, you have to say much better than we saw against Brentford. The first half against Brentford was shocking.
Cool.
I'm hoping the international break was a help. That players got a little bit. Most players got some bit of time off for.
Rice, Soucek, Crowell, I think Kufal travelled with them as well. I don't know for certain. I know Ben Rama played for Algeria, but that's about it really. Oh, and Yarmolenko, who got a he got like some like weapon for his 100th cap for Ukraine. I don't know if you saw that, like a mace or something. He got given. It was ridiculous.
Rocket launchers.
No. It was like a yellow and blue mace that he got handed for his like 100th cap. It was definitely something out of medieval times.
Bizarre, yeah. Eastern Europe's a whole other place, isn't it? Yeah. Yeah, it was another poor ball from Benrahma. Looking for Antonio there, and who was 1-on-1 in the box and just overhit it again. So he just needs to sharpen up a little bit. I actually turned off the build-up, like muted it, because it was like all Newcastle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you wonder, it's bad enough that they're like that now. Whenever the likes of Chelsea or Liverpool or United play, they're going to be like that now, or City. They're going to be like that now. Whenever bloody Newcastle play as well, they're going to be bloody gobbing on about them all the time because they're the new big thing.
It's a new thing for Jamie Redknapp to fawn over.
Oh,
God, got away with that one.
Yeah, that was too close for comfort.
Massively. Jesus.
Good ball outside. Oh, great idea by Antonio.
Oh my God! How does Iwobi miss that?
Here we go.
It's a Iwobi. It's a Iwobi. I mean, it's a Iwobi. That's how it misses it.
Now you've said that, he's now going to score a belter. Like,
yeah, it just went right through his legs. Fresh air shot. Just completely missed out.
Oh, that was almost a beautiful ball for Mickey for Benrahma, but
yeah, but again, unfortunately, final pass again just overhit.
Yeah. We haven't seen Demarai Gray much in this first half, but then he appears, and then that's the improvement in Demarai Gray down to a T. His final product has been immense for Everton this season.
I was saying before you two came on, for like it was like 1.6 million they got him for. We should have been all over that. Like, there's no risk. Like, if you're not going to get if you couldn't agree a fee for Lingard, bid 1.6 million for Demarai Gray is not quite on the same level on top when both were on top form, but certainly a fantastic option, a slip of a fee.
Yeah,
exactly.
And I think there is where Ogbona's age is starting to show a little bit as well, which is natural. You know what I mean? The change of direction of Gray just outdid him there, and just got that extra half a yard to get the ball in.
Yeah, absolutely. Unless Iwobi before that, Rondon was going to get a touch on it. I think that's the only.
Yeah, but you see, we always talk about that. All good forwards just expect the ball to come. They never assume it won't come to them. Like, mentally, you have to be ready and you have to be shaped up properly just in case that happens. The likes of, say, Jamie Vardy wouldn't have missed that. He'd have been ready just in case that ball did come through to him.
I'm just going to come back to Mo's comment he's just put on. Mo Lester has said, just realised what I've just said. Moyes is a clown for rejecting a striker. I think he only rejected the Salthouse rubbish dross. Like, it's not. I don't. If the striker that he was happy with had come about,
why would Bowen not hit that?
Oh, yeah, I don't know why Bowen didn't hit that.
Why would Bowen not hit that?
I don't know.
Should have done.
No idea. That's what I was talking to Jazz the other day. That's what he needs to, he can add that clinical aspect to his game. I mean, because if you look at Bowen over the last year, I mean, all he does is he makes half a yard and smashes it against the legs of defenders, So, I mean, if he can add that shooting aspect to his game, he's going to be a massively different player. And then I could see him moving to someone like Liverpool. But until that time, he's still got...
Fornell's foul there is pretty bad.
Yeah, it's a poor challenge.
It's a bad one. And he's been yellow carded, which is not surprised.
Yeah, just needs to stay on his feet now for the rest of the game.
Yeah, no, exactly. So, everyone got it in the middle of the part of the land, tried to play it forward, but they still got it. Oh, too much space for Iwobi.
Oh, this doesn't look good. This does not look good.
Well done again, Johnson. Well done.
Yeah, well done. Oh, gives it away though.
No.
Again, this is all very scrappy at the moment, but
Ooh.
oh,
clear it!
No.
oh,
This
well
one-
done, Chris.
Had to win that one.
Fabianski does like to push the ball out in front of him, doesn't he? Jeez. Although I know
He
he
did the
probably
same
couldn't
thing
have-
against Brentford.
Yeah, he probably couldn't have done a whole lot about that. It was all he could do to get a hand on it. But
Yeah.
yeah. Everton just starting to come into this game now. That's a
And
terrible
they-
ball.
Timed that well and then lands and then pumps it out for a goal kick.
Yeah.
We've seen that chance
Again-
again. Townsend did well at the edge of the box. Iwobi crosses it.
But look at the difference here between their crosses. Their crosses are much more effective than ours right now. You know,
Yeah.
you can their crosses are so more guided, and you know our crosses have been a little bit, well, let's say, not as effective. And I think
Yeah, I think Everton have defended them better than we have. They've got the blocks in, got the headers away, whereas that hasn't quite happened for us at the moment.
I think in the air we're okay, but it's these low balls that they keep putting in that are really hurting us.
Oh, why did Fornells leave that for Cresswell? He's never going to win that one. What's
no.
you
Oh
doing?
no.
Graze away on the right. Spaces. This game is opening up like you wouldn't believe.
Yeah, it really is.
Oh, he should have played out wide, didn't you? It was wide open on the left. They've still got it though. It's Townsend, is it on the right? Crosses it in.
Yeah,
Decore was leapt like a salmon to try and get that one, but goes up
Yeah.
for a goal kick.
Yeah, Decore leveled Ogbonna, did he?
Yeah, Townsend did well on the right. Good cross, back post. Yeah, Decore did everything he could.
Sorry, it was Zuma he hit. I hope he's okay.
Yeah, I think he's okay.
All right, yeah. Yeah, Everton getting back into it, and yeah, the crossing is that's where they're looking most threat from both sides. Down the left with Digne and Iwobi, and then on the right with Townsend and obviously Coleman flying forward as well.
Coleman, yeah.
Not as much as he did a few years ago. Seamus Coleman, he's getting on a bit, but he's still a good player to depend on.
Oh yeah, solid professional.
Yeah, no doubt about it.
Yeah. This is another game where we're not as cagey as we have been under Moyes. We seem to be getting involved in more open games.
Yeah, it's good to see. That's really good to see.
It's been a long time since we saw, 3 centre backs.
Mm-hmm.
Good ball forward.
Antonio's losing every ball in the air to Keane.
Yeah, Keane's doing well so far. But Antonio's holding out well when the ball's on the floor, but in the air. Oh, Ben Rama's done much better there.
Oh, yes! Go on!
Shoot!
Oh,
Shoot!
Yes! Yes! Go on, West Ham!
Go on with him. No.
He's offside.
Offside. He's offside.
Oh, he's offside. Damn it.
Yeah, you can see it. Yeah.
Well,
Yeah. No, he's offside. Definitely offside there. Went a step too early.
Good build up. Yeah, he's off. Yeah,
he's off.
he is off.
Damn it.
Yeah.
That was a great save, it has to be said, from Pickford.
But yeah, a really good move again from West Ham. Get the end product. Unfortunately, Stuchek is just offside. Correct decision. But yeah, much better though. But from a Ben Rama and good build-up play between Bone and
excellent play from Ben Rama.
Yeah.
Good to see him.
That's what we want from Ben Rama. That's what we need. You know that.
Yeah.
What we've lacked since the Paye days. You know, that little bit of spark, little bit of skill. You know, we've got a lot of industrial players, but we just lack that little bit of flair. You know, because if you look at guys like Antonio, Rice, Souček, Soufal, Bowen, they're very industrial players, but that little bit of flair, that little bit of je ne sais quoi. Yeah,
Joie de vivre.
Exactly.
No, great, mate. So like one of the pundits is David Ginola, him down to a teammate. Fucking David Ginola. Very well.
Another thing I've just is just sprung to my mind, guys, is that Antonio is already on a yellow, isn't he? So he's not going to be able to be as risky when he tries to bully defenders.
Good point. Yeah, great point. Really good point. Yeah.
And for now with that sloppy one as well. I mean, that's
exactly. Well, I mean, we don't want Antonio doing what he did against Southampton away and get himself a silly yellow.
yeah.
Without a backup striker, yeah. I mean,
exactly, yeah.
But the thing is, that if things start to look any worse, we might get Yarmolenko on, which
just those words.
I don't know. Yarmolenko likes a goal against Everton.
Yeah. He scored his goal 2 in this.
Well, that was pre-injury. I mean, that was back when he still had some form of pace. If he hadn't got that Achilles injury, I think he'd have been a different player for us personally.
Definitely. We bought him 2 years too late. We bought him 2 years too late, to be honest.
Yeah. No, I think
that Achilles injury just finished him.
I think we will see Yarmolenko, but I think it will be maybe 80th minute for Bowen, something like that. I think Antonio's going to play the full game.
Yeah, the thing with Yarmolenko, with his lack of pace, you can't play him on the wing. You've got to play him in the middle.
Yeah, I think he can. If he's I think I'm going to disagree a little, Dennis. I think you can bring him on, 80th minute on the wing in a game that's slowed down a lot, and he's fresh.
I've seen him stand on the ball too many times while on the wing. That I mean, in the Europa League, it's fine.
His lack of pace doesn't bother me as much as it does others.
In the Europa League, it's not so bad. It is just generally a slower place, but
but this whole game will be much slower at 18 minutes gone.
Yeah,
everything will have slowed down. He'll be all right at that point. I think he's good for
the problem with Yarmolenko on the wing is the coverage that he gives to the fullback. There you can get him, the fullback can get doubled up quite easily. Have you seen? I don't know if you guys look at conspiracy theories about COVID or anything, but the number 2 conspiracy theory right now is that Yarmolenko actually has a twin brother that plays for Ukraine and is actually fucking brilliant. And the one is actually two twin Yarmolenkos.
Hey, see
and
this?
That one is shit.
See this? Look. How was that any different to the fucking dive that Antonio took and got booked for?
Yeah. Godfrey's. Well, the ref hasn't given it.
Yeah, Mickey's even just gone down, dive like that.
Yeah.
I think it's intention. I think I agree with you, Tommy. I think it's just the intention of diving outside the box and diving in the corner. Maybe the ref looks at it that way. I don't agree, but
yeah, I'd say why Atwell. He's a bit shaky usually as a referee. He's not one of the better ones, but he's having a stellar game, I've got to say, today.
Yeah, nothing hasn't got any major decisions wrong, thankfully.
He hasn't. Well, we should have got a goal there based on Atwell. I mean, his previous form, he has given goals when a player is shot wide. So it should be 1-0 West Ham.
What a block that is!
Oh, another one from Chris. Ben Rama, was it? Ben Rama with the second shot, was it?
Yeah.
Yeah, can't miss those yellow boots. Johnson, go on. That's a good run from Johnson. Did one of the Everton players really look for offside?
That post.
No.
That shot, Pablo.
Oh, come on. You've got to get that on target.
Should have done better.
That was over. I think that was the opposite. I think he took too much time and overthought that one and tried to put it, just a little bit too much in the top corner and overthought it.
He put out too. He tried to get a lot of bend on it. He didn't need to.
No need.
Yeah,
that's got to go on target from there. That's a close range effort.
Yeah.
That's it. But that's it. Or maybe he changed his mind.
That he stepped into.
Yeah.
The ball's sitting in front of you like that, and you can step into it. You've got to get that on target from there.
Well, I love the fact that a fan just headed it as well.
You love to see it, yeah. And tell you what, Jordan Pickford was rightfully raging at his defence.
At half time, because you were talking about the ref there, Bill. I'm going to put something to you guys at half time that has been on my mind about refs in the Premier League, and I want to get you guys' take on it because I think it's could be an interesting subject.
Look forward to it.
Pickford's kit is absolutely fucking horrendous. Who the hell?
I wanted to bring that up during the lineups, but I didn't want. Also, at the same time, I didn't want to then interrupt Tommy as Tommy was giving his views on the lineup. I didn't want to interrupt it for. Oh, by the way, look how bad this kit is. Of all the things to interrupt people for, that is not necessary.
Looks like some sort of hazard sign you'd see at a depot.
What it looks like. It looks like the sort of painting that a child in reception or year 1 will do for their interpretation of what a lollipop lady should wear.
An exercise to stay inside the lines.
Clear it. Oh, don't edit.
Johnson has to take. I think Johnson has to take control of that. I think
very...
Johnson's got to give a shout to Bowen to leave that, and he can head that clear. Although, because it's cost us a corner.
Yeah, and to be honest, I do disagree with the previous Iwobi chance. I don't think, well, the first Iwobi chance where he could have gotten it with the left foot. I don't think Johnson had it covered well. I really don't. I think he's looking nervy at the back. Brilliant going forward. Really nice football, but just a little bit nervy.
Yeah, I think it's just lack of experience. He just left it to Bowen, you know.
Yeah.
Needs to take responsibility. He needs to be brave enough to take responsibility there, Johnson, and say, look.
Fabianski with a lovely catch there, and we've got a chance going forward. We can play the right pass.
Go on, Rice. Drive.
Go on, Ricey. Go on. Out wide.
Hit it. Oh, Jesus. Don't hit it.
He should have passed the Bowen, and he knows it. He's apologising. But a great move again.
That's Championship Antonio at his best.
No, to be honest, in that position, I don't have a problem with our number 9 hitting it. It was just a really poor effort.
That's Mickey before he was a striker.
Yeah.
We've now got the evolution of Mickey, because what it used to be the back to goal turn, sky it into row Z. Now we've got lump it from outside the area into row, not quite Z, row Q.
I mean, Antonio just doesn't score goals from outside the box.
No, and I think we can see why that effort.
He's basically this generation's Van Nistelrooy, isn't he?
Yeah.
No, he's not. Let's be fair.
I know.
There are very few strikers as clinical as Van Nistelrooy these days.
No.
What? That's not a foul.
No, it was.
You think? It looked like you won the ball.
At first glance.
I'm about to see whatever this is.
So,
it was.
Townsend shifted.
As a fullback, I know that kind of foul. One of my specialties.
I saw the ball.
Matt never over here.
Fornells is walking on ice now. He's on a yellow. He's just done another cynical foul. I reckon next one he gets a second yellow, I think.
I don't know. I don't think he's going to get sent off for stuff like that. They're basic garden variety fouls. I don't think ref's going to send.
Would you risk it and bring Vlasic on?
No.
No,
I don't think Fornell's going to get sent off.
Ball comes in.
Not this early.
I
think Vlasic could potentially be the type of player to unpick this Everton defence based on what I have seen. But it'd be very harsh to take anyone off. I think Ben Rama's had a couple of mistakes in it, but he's also, he's a bit of a piston there for us. Yeah. Fornells is the workhorse there. As soon as he goes off, you miss his work rate. And I think both.
We don't know him getting sent off though, Dennis. That's the only
I know, but at the same time, it's like if I take Vlasic off for Fornells, the work rate goes, and it's just Mickey with the work rate from then onwards in that.
I don't think Fornells is in any danger of getting sent off here. That's their basic fouls like that. He's not going to.
But if he does it persistently, he will have to get a second yellow though.
Yeah, but the ref will have a word before that. The ref will warn you. Look, you're this close now. That would be the only time I think David Moyes would consider taking him off if the ref has warned him. Look, one more of those and you're off. So thankfully refs do warn you.
We are playing with fire at the back there. Just had Zoom looking out for a corner.
Zuma's going to be limping from that. Zuma fell awkwardly there.
Yeah, obviously.
I have to say, I'm just going to put this out there.
Wouldn't he, as well?
I'm just going to put this out there. I know I've criticised him a lot in the past, that's easy, but I just think if we have to bring Dawson on for Zuma, that worries me with these low crosses coming in because he's prone to an own goal from a lone cross.
Yeah.
Ball in the air, Dawson's great. Ball on the floor, Dawson is
Zuma gets that one.
Zuma's limping. He's limping. Look at how he came down. And the thing is that Zuma's lucky that he kept his foot down, didn't go studs up. Because I think if that shows the class. That's why we bought him. He was able to keep his toe down.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see if Zuma comes out after the break. He's definitely, obviously, the break is coming at a good time in that regard. It'll give him physio chance.
He'll be a little bit, hopefully be all right and come the second half.
Yeah,
I think he needs to walk it off or stretch it. Walk it off or stretch it.
Yeah, well, the physio is going to have some time now in the dressing room at half time.
That being said, as well, although I'm worried about the low crosses, I think Dawson is the perfect defender you want against London because they play together. He'll know how to handle him. He'll have been training with him for a couple of years.
Should be half time, and there we are. So, half time at Goodison Park. Everton 0, West Ham. Your thoughts? Start with you, Tommy, on that first half.
Yeah, entertaining first half, I have to say. Good open game. We started off, first 20, 25 minutes, really, really well, albeit, we weren't very clinical. Our final balls were not very good, but a very positive start from us. Everton obviously then started to work their way into the game, and they had a couple of really gilt-edged chances as well. So, for a 0-0 game, it's actually been quite entertaining and enjoyable to watch. It certainly isn't a bore draw. I'm relatively pleased because at least we're performing well. We're getting the ball forward into their final third quite regularly, so it's still all there for us to be won. Hopefully, second half we can just be a little more clinical and find a couple of goals because we are capable of carving Everton open. We're creating those opportunities. Just a little more clinical with the final ball or with the final effort, and I'm quite happy with that first half. Quite confident that we can go on the second half here and get a couple of goals. I think.
Yes, spot on, mate. I totally agree with everything you said, Dennis. What would you made that opening 45, mate?
I mean, with the way we dominated, especially at the beginning, we really should be ahead. And I think Corey's not here to listen to it, but I'm going to use one of his favourite terms. I don't want to be a negative Nigel. It's the way it's gone. I'm like, this is so stereotypical, quintessential West Ham, and that we have these chances, we don't take it. We have goal disallowed for offside. We make the wrong pass, and we end up being shithoused 1 or 2-0. Sometimes 2-0 we get shithoused by a team who are just a little bit more clinical. I mean, if Iwobi had his footwork a little bit better, we could quite easily be 1 or 2-0 down. And it's where, although there is positives, I've seen this film before. I've seen this film.
You know how it ends, yeah.
I know how this ends. I know how this ends.
I think Moyes will be the happier of the two managers at the break, if I'm honest.
Yeah, I'll go with that. What do you think, Matt, of that first half, pal?
I agree with all of you guys, definitely. First 20 minutes, I think we were all expecting a game that we might go on to win 2 or 3-0, how we look. But to be honest, mate, I mean, West Ham are not clinical. We haven't been clinical. We get the occasional clinical game, but, where we're great counter-attacking team. But we're not clinical. If you look, we've got Antonio, we've got Bowen, we've got Fornals, we've got Ben Rama. These are not clinical players at this moment. They've got the potential, but they're not. And this is, like they say, these are the kind of games that come back and hurt us. What do we need to do, for me? Get Antonio dragging out wide, move the centre-backs around. Because if you draw the centre-backs out wide like he did, where he picked up that corner, with that bite from I don't know who the centre-back was. I mean, that's where we can get it. We can get some leverage out there, get in behind the fullbacks. And one thing I will say, take advantage of Johnson. Take advantage of Johnson. He's got a little bit more trickery than Soutval has. Get that little bit of trickery going, get him up. But I mean, what would I change? Around maybe 55, 60 minutes, I'd bring on Vlasic, give him a chance against his old team to prove a point. Because, he's dropped there.
Yeah, bang. All right. Well, we got James and Gatesy. Thanks for joining, lads. Did you guys catch that first off? What do you make of it?
For me, we was good at the start, okay in the middle, and towards the end, we was the better team. We've been the better team, but we've got no cutting edge. That's the only problem with us. When Antonio's having shots from 30 yards out,
Yeah, we're a bit
hopeless. I think there's too many boys on the stream at the minute.
No, can't have enough, mate. What about you, Gatesy? What do you make that first half, Bill?
Yeah, I mean, what I saw of it, I've missed the first 15 minutes of it because I was coming back from my daughter's game of football that I was telling you about, and but me son sort of filled me in. I've sort of genned up on sort of like the stats and whatever, and it looks like pretty much what James said. You know, we started off really well. Everton started to come back into it. The goal was obviously chalked off correctly, sadly, for an offside from Souček. But I think, you know, listen, going to Everton, it's always going to be a difficult task. You know, it's a ground that traditionally we don't do too well at. But the only concern that I've really got is Antonio getting the booking after 9 minutes. It's sort of like now he's going to have to be very, very careful, because we don't want to have him sort of like, you know, missing, and not just missing the rest of this game, but also putting himself in a position where he's out of the Tottenham game.
Yeah, exactly, mate. Yeah, we don't want him missing any more matches due to injury. But yeah, I think we started off very well. Like the lads have said, it was a lot better than the first half against Brentford, where we looked leggy and Brentford were all over us. But we created the chance to just the lads just lacking that final effort goal, final pass. I mean, we just going on Sky the offside goal, which was really but that was a really good move. It's just showing the Souček. But on Souček, I think he's been much improved today. I think
he's looked a lot better. Yeah, definitely.
The reason why Souček looks a lot better, because Rice is playing as a DM.
Yeah,
Souček going forward.
Good
and
spot.
What it is basically when you ask Souček to do Rice's job, you don't get the same result. And that's the massive difference today. Rice is doing his job. Rice has been pretty decent. Souček's been great. Yeah. That's the Souček that we see last season. But when you've got two
100%, mate.
Yeah. When you're trying to do two things the same, two players are trying to do the same thing. Right, it ain't going to work. So, I don't know. Listen, I agree. Like, I think second half we just need the goal. I do fear we're pushing this team. We're pushing and pushing and pushing, but we haven't blown the house down yet. So we just need a goal.
Yeah, I'm amazed. I'm amazed it's 0-0.
Yeah,
this game.
And also Rice's breakup play as a result have been so much better. It's the kind of breakup play we really needed against Brentford.
Exactly.
I think you know, again, Moyes has just watched back and thought, right, sat them down, or sat one of them down and said, it's not working. The part of me thinks maybe Rice wants to get a bit more forward because he wants to add goals to his game. I mean, every time he scored, he looks like he's over the moon. But I think he's had to say, for the sake of the team, we're going to have to go back to what it was last season, lads. If we had the different dynamic in midfield, we may have conceded today already. Because of, again, Rice's break-up play. He's broken up some great counter-attacks from Everton just by nodding it or passing it outwards. I mean, he doesn't always pass backwards. Sometimes it's sidewards. But, you know.
Do you think that part of the reason for the shift in the emphasis in the sort of like the Rice and Souček roles, if you will, do you think that part of that has been driven by the fact that Declan Rice is basically our star player and our captain? If it had been any other player, do you think that David Moyes would have afforded him the sort of like the power, if you will, the autonomy to change his role?
Part of me thinks that Rice probably, and I don't think it's Rice necessarily just saying, I'm going to do it. I think maybe he'd have had an adult conversation, because again, from what I hear from X, he's got a very, very mature head on his shoulders for his age. I think you would have had a mature conversation with Moyes saying, look, the big thing I want to do, I want to get forward more, I want to score more goals. And Moyes has gone, all right, we'll try it. And in a way, it has worked, in a way, but it has been detrimental to Souček and the team as a whole. And I think Moyes then has turned around and said, look, I'm the gaffer, you're now sitting back, you're brilliant at it, do it's your bread and butter, is breaking up play and passing it and creating counter-attacks. Stick to that, mate, because you were fantastic for 2 seasons. My opinion, of course, just my opinion.
Just to counter that quickly, what it is, when you've got Souček, he's not known for his defensive capabilities, whereas Declan Rice is, and he does his job excellent. Like I've always said this, Declan Rice is a world-class box-to-box defensive midfield player, and he will be until he leaves us and goes wherever he goes. Souček isn't. He's a very, very good player, but he's not world-class. And the way I look at it with Souček is he can't do the same thing that Declan Rice can do. Right, and Declan Rice needs to sort of do his job to like you can't be the jack of all trades and the master of none. Like give him, let him be the defensive midfielder we all know he is, and let Souček do each thing. And you just see it today. The differences, the balance looks completely different today from the Brentford game. Like the Brentford game, we was completely all over the place, and yeah.
I think Rice has got the taste of goals. If you look at the interview that he had after the last Europa League game against Vienna, he said him and Noble actually talked about on the pitch. He said, "No, sit back and let me push up a bit in this game." So I think actually, apart from Moyes, I think there may be the agreement between the two that are on the field, and I think maybe Rice's obsession right now, because I would call it an obsession, looks more possessed to score goals, is because of all the abuse he's been receiving, from a lot of these fans, like we talked about Man United fans that say he's a sideways pass merchant, he's only got this to this game. And maybe he wants to prove a point to people, that I've got more to my game than just you've got. And for me, like James said, there's nothing wrong with being a world-class box-to-box midfielder, a defensive midfielder, Claude Macaulay. I mean, it's a wonderful position, actually, whatever. But I think he just wants to add that aspect to his game. Because you can look, when he scores, it's not only happiness, it's a shock. First goal he scored, he's like he's shocked he scored. So I think that's the difference. I think if Rice just sits back and does what he needs to do, I mean, like James said, he's going to be talked about for years and years to come because he is really that good.
I'm going to take... I don't disagree with really anything that's been said, but I have a slightly different feeling on this whole thing. I mean, I agree with James. Souček is a fine player and he's an important player in the team, but his ceiling is nowhere near Declan Rice's ceiling. And I agree with you guys that the dynamic is better for the team when Rice sits more and Souček is allowed to get forward. I do think it works better for us that way. But I think Declan Rice is a generational talent, and I want to see him continue to develop. And I think he can be a world-class box-to-box midfielder who can drive forward, who can score goals, who can be just unbelievable. And I actually would hate to see that stunted because it's the only way it works between him and Souček. And so it's a kind of a difficult situation for me because ultimately I want what's best for the team, for West Ham. I want us winning games, and that that dynamic as we're seeing it today is working. But I don't want to see Declan Rice being held back in his development either. I want to see him become that box-to-box midfielder. And I think if, for example, we were to sell Souček, say we got a huge bid for him in January and he went, I would want to see us buy a straight-up defensive midfielder who will just sit so that Rice can then go on and be the player he's destined to be. So I'm kind of torn about this whole thing, to be honest.
Tommy, just to ask you, mate, would you put Crow and push Rice up?
Not in place of Souček, because again, I think it would be detrimental to the team.
No,
because I think.
But in the future, do you think that's the future plan?
No, I think Souček is going to start games when he's fit every time. So I think we're going to see what we're seeing today now going forward. I just hope we're not stunting Declan Rice because I think he can become an unbelievable box-to-box player. So look, we've seen what he can do earlier this season. He has improved again this season, Rice. His ability now to get forward, some of those runs he's made, the way he's driven at teams. I love seeing Declan Rice driving up the field with the ball, running right through the heart of a defense. It's wonderful to see. And he's adding goals to his game. He's starting to add goals. I don't want to see that stop. I don't. And I understand why the dynamic works better when Rice is just sitting, but I want to see him continue to develop because he's a generational talent. So it is a difficult situation because I also want to see Souček start because we don't have a player we can bring in. Even Kral, who I think is a decent player, but probably no more than that. So I don't want to hurt the team by having Souček out of the team. But also, I don't want to see Rice stunted. I want to see him develop. So it's a tough one. It's a tough one. In an ideal world, we would have a really, really top class sitting defensive midfielder. So Rice has that license to go and become the player I think he's destined to be. It's a tough one. But ultimately, I'm a West Ham fan and I want my team to win games. So I think at the moment we have to allow for Souček to go forward like we've seen today and Rice to sit more. But a part of me hates it.
I'm going to shoot, but thanks for having us on. You take care, and let's hope for a positive result in the second half.
Take care, James.
Cheers, James, mate.
Yeah,
Be
mate.
good, mate.
James, thanks for joining, mate. Thoughts on that first half, mate?
Yeah, a bit clumsy, wasn't it? Really, not quite at it. Doing some foolish things at the end, but going back to what Tom was saying, I don't think Souček's offering enough just to get the odd goal in the box, and I think we should have someone like Modric or Ruben Neves, that type player next to Rice. I think Rice is enough on his own as a defensive holding. I don't want two similar players like that in the middle. I think we need someone like Benrahma, but someone who can put their foot on the ball, dictate the pace of the play, take the game scruff of the neck, and give it to the three people we got up front. I think that's what I'm thinking now. I mean, back in the old days, we only used to have one, didn't we? Billy Bonds there, and the other one next to him used to be Brooking and people. We don't need Souček. I think Souček's good, but he's got to do more.
Jazz, to just sort of play a bit of, wouldn't you call it devil's advocate, but a question for everyone here is that is there the feeling, and I'm not taking away from what Souček has done, but because we were so desperate for another midfielder, is it the feeling where at first it was fantastic, but now we're starting to see I'm not going to say like the cracks, but the very, very minor drawbacks to playing Souček now, whereas before we were a bit enamored by the fact that we had another very good midfielder, whereas we're used to just having, well, for a long time it was just Mark Noble. Kouyaté came and went. He had a good couple of years, then was terrible. Rice was emerging. Do you feel it's that way, or do you think it's just a case of the game changing rather than the player, after a while, cracks starting to emerge?
No, I think Souček's been better. I think Souček's been better today. He's been a bit leggy last few games. I think he's been back to how he usually plays for me.
Yeah, I just find that the Brentford game, one or two other games where we've looked a bit lethargic, a bit looking for new ideas on the bench when there hasn't been any, or certainly David's not made any changes. I just think we need a different type of player next to Rice. Yeah, someone a bit more good passing range,
bit more craft.
It. Yeah.
Someone maybe a bit like Decore.
And if you remember, Jazz, that's a good point, Jazz.
Decore was my first option.
What you're talking about there, Jazz, we've actually kind of seen recently, because you remember the game where Lanzini played alongside Rice? I thought, I can't remember what game that was, but
Burnley, I think.
Burnley away
Burnley
last
game,
season where we were
where I thought Lanzini in that role beside Rice, I thought that dynamic worked really, really well. Having that player, like you say, Jazz, with that bit of guile, with an eye for a pass, with that technical ability, I really liked what I saw with that kind of partnership.
The one issue with that,
there's a lot
Tommy,
of merit to what you say there, Jess.
It only works with Lanzini. Obviously, we need that type of player, but with Lanzini himself, probably wouldn't work against Everton, would work against West Brom when he's got a bit more time on the ball. He's not going to get the time on the ball.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, but I'm just talking about the concept.
Oh, yeah. I know, I get that. The type of player like that, I mean, there certainly are plenty of players in either Europe, or if you want to take a punt on a player in South America that isn't proven, we know Sullivan absolutely would love that. There are definitely going to be players out there for that.
Yeah. Do you think Diame used to offer a bit more than Souček in that aspect?
Oh, we're going back a little bit, a completely different style of play, but I think Diame alongside Rice, like first season Diame, definitely. Another player that I think we were silly to let go of, in my honest opinion, because Alex Song was only ever going to be a temporary position and only really worked for the first half of his year on loan, or first 2/3 of it. His second year on loan was shambolic. And Kouyaté, as soon as we moved stadiums, Kouyaté just went from brilliant to shit. I think it might have been an idea to keep hold of Diame for the sake of $3.5 million. Just give him another contract.
Thing is, I think he wanted to go, didn't he?
He wanted to go
yeah.
for a top 6 club and then went to bloody Hull. Something doesn't add
Yeah.
up there.
Yeah,
So we
Top 6 in the championship.
Yeah, but but what I'm saying is we were told that, but who told you that? Mirror Darren or someone like that may or may not be mates with Sullivan. We don't know if that's true, but it wouldn't surprise me if it was a case of, right, well, we signed this Kiate guy, now we need to get rid of Diarmi. And I think for $3.5 million, I think what would have been better is give him a new contract, another 15 grand a week, either increase that minimum clause or get rid of it, and either sell him for more money or keep hold of him. But look, we're going back to like 2014, 2015 now. Like,
I think John Moncur was another one. He could do both. Put his foot in and pass
Moncur and Bishop.
We're going back to I was in primary school when we had Johnny Moncur. He retired when I was in year 6.
Yeah.
But...
If you want to go back in time a little bit, just imagine in this team if you had someone like Ian Bishop beside Rice.
Ian Bishop,
Bishy.
Oh, let's go even further about that. Let's imagine, I don't know, we had signed Dave Mackay from Tottenham in the 60s alongside Declan Rice.
No, but you know what I'm saying? If you had that kind of passing range and guile and ability just beside Rice.
Bishop was a very, very underrated footballer. I think if he had played for bigger teams than West Ham or the old school Man City, I think he'd be remembered a lot more fondly in British folklore.
I think he was similar to Jamie Redknapp, wasn't he? He wasn't that far off his level, or maybe they're both the same. But one
Redknapp the player or Redknapp the pundit?
Well, here's another one for you. Imagine us bringing a youngster through now like Carrick to play alongside.
Oh my God!
Wow, yeah, wow.
Could you imagine just adding Rice to that 99-2000 season?
Oh, stop.
Lampard, Rice, Carrick. You got Sinclair and Cole. Lomas would be a substitute in this situation. And you play 3-5-2 with Stimac, Rio, and Stuart Pearce as a back three, and you have one Chop and Paolo up top. Well, both of them are Paolo, but you know what I mean.
Frightening,
and then throw in Paul Kitson every time you want for a bit of banter. Again, I think Kitson's another player that I think if he played for bigger clubs would probably be remembered a little bit better.
And if he wasn't as injured as much.
Sadly, again, he's had a lot of off-field, lot of problems since he's.
Or imagine, like having, say Dean Ashton as your 9, and then Craig Bellamy as your 10.
Ashton is like my number 2 of English football's what ifs. The number 1, obviously, is Ludwig King.
We're getting done, mate. Jesus Christ,
we've had a few chances.
Not a great start.
I'm a little behind you, gents, but yeah.
Oh, what's a ball by Townsend that was?
I'm going to put a bet on right now. Denari Gray assist, because right now is what we should be putting the balls in. Not from just that one. I mean, I don't mean that ball in now. I mean, from one just about 5 minutes earlier. And I think that Denari Gray is going to get an assist today.
Won't put it past him. Oh, you expect Rondon to do better than that. He's usually an animal in the air, but didn't get enough on it.
I don't understand that.
Is Matt breaking up a bit, or is it just me?
Yeah, Matt, it's impossible to hear you, mate. You're breaking up really badly. Yeah.
Chaps, I got a scoot. I'll see if I can catch you at the end.
Talk to you later, Gatesy.
Take care, boys.
See you later.
Yeah. So just to come back, remember we were talking about the referees kind of having a decent game, thank God. I've been thinking about this refereeing thing, but I wanted to put this. I meant to do it at halftime, but obviously we got into other stuff. But we've got the best product in the world in the Premier League. It's the most watched league. The amount of money involved in it now is massive. Standard is incredible, and the standard of refereeing is just unacceptable in the Premier League, given the product that we've. If you compare the standard of the product to the refereeing, to me it's awful. And I've been thinking to myself, you're in England, you're probably never going to have enough top class kind of referees come through to where you've got a really great stable of referees just domestically. So if the Premier League has all of this money and we're bringing in the best players from around the world into the league, Why can't we bring the best referees around the world into the Premier League? Let's say you have a referee in France who's a great referee, great reputation, proven, and you say, we want you to come and referee in the Premier League.
Oh,
And we're going to give you a contract. We're going to give you a 2-year contract to referee in the Premier League, and pick them from all over the world. Argentinian ref from here, there, and everywhere that you think are great referees. Bring them in. Give them a couple of years contract. The ones that don't work out, you don't renew them. You bring someone else in until you've got a stable of really great referees in the Premier League. What's to stop you doing that?
Yeah, I think that's a really good point, mate.
In the concept, that's a great idea, but it does create a massive fucking monster intentionally. So hear me out. So let's say we do that. And as a result, we get the 2 best referees from France. We get the 4 best referees from Spain. We get a German guy, sort of that. Right? As a result, the refereeing ability goes down in those countries. Okay?
Don't give a shit.
So what happens then?
Oh, Coleman went close there. Cool. Great effort.
PSG, the super rich
Our last
clubs,
pass is average, isn't it? Bloody hell.
Yeah.
The super rich clubs in that
Go on,
league
son.
ain't having it.
Go on, son.
Right, I'll finish this thought in a minute.
Jez, you're watching this on Sky Sports, yeah?
You're a little bit ahead of us, I take it.
I'm on 55, spot 17.
Sorry, guys.
I'm on 47, 44, 40. Sorry.
So, Jez, we might get you to.
You're on, what was it?
54, 40.
Oh,
Jez, what we might do, Jez, we'll get you to do what the rest of us have done. So, if you can pause yours, tell us what time you're paused on, and then I'll count it down, and then you restart it so we're all in the same time.
Okay, yeah.
So, pause it.
I
Tell
will
us
still
what time
be
you're
behind,
paused on.
but
55, 43.
Okay,
Go on,
43.
go on,
I'll
go on.
count you down, okay?
Okay.
When we get there, I'll count you down to 43, and at 43, you start it again.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay,
so we're on 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43.
Okay, perfect.
So we should all be in, apart from Dennis, unfortunately, can't do anything.
It happens, and to be fair, if 4 people are on the right time, that's better than none, you know. But Tommy, just to sort of caveat what I was saying, what I was saying. Sorry, is that let's say we take the best refs in that league, and Premier League have the best ref. Now, the big clubs in all those other leagues, your Barcelonas, your Madrids, your Juventus, the Milan clubs, PSG, they ain't having it. So they turn around and say, well, we got a bit more money, especially French League, PSG. We give the French League, here's a load of fucking money, buy those good referees. And it becomes a bidding war between you as the best referees. And I'm saying Premier League will probably over the top thingy, but then it becomes a bit of another massive money ball, another situation where it's all dependent on the finance. And I think you do sort of create a bit of a monster with the best intentions. Don't get me wrong, and it is a great idea. I just think it's open to corruption, personally.
Yeah,
Matt, what is Antonio doing, mate? What the hell's he doing?
He was doing something great, and then fell over.
Hey, you know what?
Hang on. Okay.
I'm just amazed by Declan Rice. That way, one of the best defensive midfielders in the world. You see that interception on the edge of the box? Absolutely brilliant. I'm in awe. You know what I mean? His position is unreal. He really is.
What you're saying, Matt, is he's worth more than £60 million, is what you're saying.
I love that they keep valuing him at 60 million, because at the end of the day, we're not going to sell him.
I mean,
we're not going to sell him.
Corey put it best, because I put a thing on my Instagram being like, keep undervaluing him, because one of the same United fan that was going on about Phil Jones as our answer, I said to him, he was like, oh, well, we're not going to bid 100 million for Rice if we can get Ruben Neves for 40. And I go, we'll sign Ruben Neves then and fuck off.
Yeah.
Just sign
Ruben Neves. They got Fred, didn't they? Keep Fred.
Just because you can get Ruben Neves 40 doesn't mean West Ham need to go, oh shit, we need to lower our prices because United don't want to pay that much. No, he's not for sale. This is the price. If you don't pay that price, he's not for sale. Thank you, fuck you, goodbye.
Yeah, this is what's going to happen, right? At some point, Rice is going to go for huge money to the likes of Chelsea, United, City, someone.
I have as long as it's not Spurs, I've got no problem.
And then you wait until he's played about 10 games, maximum 10 games for one of those clubs, and all of a sudden the likes of Souness and all these other fans are going to be saying, "Oh, what a fucking player!"
It was exactly the fucking same with
Yeah, he's
Scott
doing-
Parker. People
yeah.
said, "Oh, it was only because he was at West Ham." He played 5 games for Spurs, and everyone was like going off on one about how bloody great he was.
And we're going to be saying, this is the same Declan Rice that played for us. He did this for
that
us.
you
week
were saying
in,
was
week
only
out,
worth 50
and you
million
told us he was
pounds.
worth 40 million quid. So it shows what you know about football, you fucking knucklehead.
I see. I like to be a little bit more intellectual with my insults to these people, Tommy. I like to call them neophytes, which means beginner. They're only playing FIFA and they're watching like mates of mine that only watch West Ham on the YouTube highlights that Sky Sports put out. Go, oh, just don't see what Rice does.
Like
Yeah,
3
because
minute
they might
highlights.
show. Yeah, because they might show one pass or something. He doesn't score that many goals. Great. Like if he was a number 10 and doing the sort of stuff Ben Rama was doing, but with his talent ability, everyone will be going mental about him. But
Sorry, I'm Irish. We tend to be a little more industrial.
I'm going to say something quickly because I just want to say I think that this is probably, I'm a big Fornals fan, but I think this is just seeing that ball that he could have played through to Antonio. I think this is one of his worst games. Yeah, it's one of his worst games, and I hope to say that to mean that he's going to shut me up and score now or do something magical. But
he hasn't had a great game. He hasn't had a great game. Is what
He hasn't been
I would say.
poor, but you know,
I have seen him play worse, but that was sort of when he first sort of came to the Premier League. He was pretty.
Yeah,
average.
I do think the first sub we'll see will likely be Vlasic for now.
I think we're
89 minutes.
Classic.
We'll see Vlasic on.
As the ball comes up.
Yeah, well, I think Moyes will possibly be slow to make a sub because we're very much in the game. It's still 0-0. There's no one out there who's really having a shocker or anything. So he probably will give them the chance.
Tommy, going back to the referees. Does anyone know how that female referee performed?
Well, against Andorra.
No.
Yeah.
Apparently, she had a good game.
Okay. And again, if they're a good enough ref, regardless of gender, ethnicity, or whatever you held, they're a good enough referee. So I don't get. Sorry for me pushing my political agenda a little bit, but I don't give a fuck what the referee is.
No, and no
they're
one
a good
should.
Referee, and the reputation that women are not good referees or don't know a lot about football. I've got 2 words for you: Alex Scott.
Yeah, I mean, listen. There's if you've got all male referees, your pool is that big. If you've now got female refs, your pool
as qualified or as experienced, yes,
and now you have a much better chance of improving the overall standard of refereeing because you're drawing from a much larger pool.
And the one thing I'd say, as much as people make right minds, I think all the controversy about Sean Massey being the linesman, I think set this back about 5 years because people were scared to have the conversation. And I'm like, if people had just sort of chilled out and let her just get on with it, I think we'd have again double the pool of referees because we'd have had more female referees in the Prem and stuff like that.
Yeah, and at the same time, I mean, everyone just got used to Sean Massey very quickly. It was just normal. Oh, Sean Massey's doing the line. Okay.
Yeah.
Just normal. Yeah. It was just a normal thing. She was just another official.
I mean, there's been female officials in lower leagues, not the Premier League and stuff like that. Again, I don't give a crap. If they're fit enough to keep, if they've got the fitness levels to keep up with the game, and they know the rules of the game, and they know how to make a decision, I don't care if they're Martians. Just let them ref. Like, who cares?
Yeah. And that goes more to my point. I don't care if they're from Argentina or Germany or.
I'm with you. I would welcome foreign referees in the Premier League, but it's when you say, "Oh, we use the money" sort of type situation with the Premier League. I'm just saying,
you'd have to. Yeah. Well, look, the referees we have now are all on contracts.
But what I'm saying is that if you take the best referees from France, I guarantee you there will be some shenanigans with the big clubs in foreign
It's already
leagues
been done. Remember, what's his name went to Saudi Arabia, didn't he?
Clattenburg.
Yeah, Clattenburg.
It's not unprecedented. Aren't the Premier League trying to get that Australian ref in?
I think he's already done a game, I think.
Hasn't he already officiated a game?
I think he's done one recently. I'm sure he did.
Like I have no issue with it, Tommy, but I'm just saying I think it opens a window of shithousery where PSG can just pay to have referees that they want or referees in and stuff like that. And because you take away the good referees. That's my opinion.
Clubs will not be allowed to sign referees for
No, not sign. Sorry, but they will turn around and be like, "Well, we want these top quality referees. Here's that money," and then suddenly there's
who PSG? They can't do that. That would be completely illegal. That would. Be,
I'm just saying I could just see something like that happening. Sadly,
No, it would be regulated the same way any player transfer is regulated. You know, if you want to offer a referee a contract, you know, the French league.
But then
offer them a contract.
But then if the French league, but then if the French league offer them more money,
but you'll have the same. Yeah, but look, you'll have the same issue the French league has now with signing players. Okay, PSG have punch weight, but if you're a referee and you're a really top class referee and you're refereeing in the Premier League, do you really want to go and referee in France?
I know, but
you know,
it's more that if it does become paying them more money, like you said with the Premier League, saying, look, pay them more money to come over here. I'm just saying it might open a vacuum in that the rest of European leagues, the refereeing standard gets lower. So eventually the FA or whoever, or the French FA and stuff like that.
Maybe a little bit, but I don't think it would lower it that much. I mean, it's not like we're going to go and take 5 refs from Germany. You know, we might have 1.
We might as well do, because again, other than Michael Oliver, I can't actually think of a referee I could consider decent in the Premier League, if I'm honest.
Well, Souček nearly got on the end of that one.
It's an interesting one, though, Dennis. You know,
it's an interesting conversation. I put it in principle. I just think it opens a fucking massive problem and power vacuum across Europe with referees. Personally, that he did nearly, and they're claiming for a penalty, but I'm not really sure about that.
King's been good. King's been right.
I said it before anyone ever came on. I said it depends. Keane's going to have his work cut out for him today because I'm not too sure about the other centre back, number 22. Can't even remember his name. That's how unsure of him. Godfrey, that's it. But he's been brilliant with the way he's dealt. Like finally he's living up to that price tag and that reputation. Because when he was at Burnley, there was talk of United taking him back, weren't there?
Antonio's not making life difficult enough for him, to be honest. I mean,
he's on the yellow, so I think he's got that in his head because he got sent off against Southampton. I think he's a bit.
Come out for it again.
But still, I mean, we just look toothless, completely toothless. I mean,
honestly, with 25 minutes to go, I would honestly bring Vlasic on for somebody.
Bloody hell, come out for
bring
it,
him on for somebody.
The game's got a bit flat, I'd say. I think both sides will probably need to make some subs, I reckon. It's got a bit flat for the first time.
I mean, for a goalless draw, this has been a pretty good game. I wish there was maybe a bit more goal. I maintain the greatest goalless draw that I've ever seen in my life was Liverpool-Arsenal 15-16 season, beginning end, when it could have been like 5-5. Giroud was having an absolute masterclass for Liverpool, and Benteke was constantly a threat for Arsenal, Liverpool. This is up there. This is for a goalless game. This has been a very entertaining game.
I'm amazed it's still 0-0.
Yeah. As I said before, I said, look, both teams will score. I had both teams to score draw now for this one. Hedge my bets at 2-2, but
I think
it could come down to an individual error. I think.
Well
or a moment of brilliance.
Come on.
I think we're asking a bit for a moment of brilliance. I think there haven't been any moments of brilliance really in this game.
Yeah, a defensive error seems more likely.
I think an own goal or a giving away a penalty or something like that is probably more likely.
Go on, Benny.
Go on, Benny. Go on, Mickey. Oh, what's a block again by Keane? How many blocks did he put in today?
Keane's having a blinder.
Oh, he's man of the match. Michael Keane, I've got to say something.
It was a bad. If you look, it's a bad shot. It's a great block by Keane, but it's going Pickford's near post with the knee down, and he scuffed it towards the front post, to the closest post. It's not a good shot. I'm sorry, and this is what's happening. You know what I mean? When we get today, where all our front four are not clinical and they've not got their shooting boots on, we look toothless. And we do. We just don't have we don't have a striker.
Matt, I'm just going to put it out there. This game is made for Yarmolenko to come on and just have a wild shot that goes in.
Cut inside.
This has Yarmolenko shithouse 1-0 written all over it, or bring on Dawson at a corner and he just shithouses a goal. I mean, one thing we haven't even mentioned his name, but I'm really glad that Richarlison is not playing today, because I think this is the type of game where Richarlison makes a difference for Everton.
No, we have to be lucky. We have to consider. I mean, look, it's what we've talked about so many times. We need to be solid in the league, so it gives us a little bit more flexibility in the Europa League and the Cup game. But if we're not picking up points in the league, it's going to really cause effect. of who we need to play in the cup games and vice versa. And this is a game. They don't have Calvert-Lewin. They don't have Richarlison. They don't have Mina. They don't have Andre Gomez. This is far from a full Everton team, you know. And
it is why I'm thinking we just need to bring like we're nearly at 70 minutes now. The one thing, and I've said it all along, is the number one thing that lets Moyes down as a manager is fucking substitutions, and always has done.
Stubborn.
Bring Vlasic on, just fresh legs, fresh ideas, something a bit different. I'm at the stage now where I think we could probably do. We don't need to worry so much about Fornell's work rate. Bring him on. I'd bring fucking Yarmolenko on possibly 5 minutes later if we don't get an immediate impact, and just see what happens.
Yeah, he didn't make any changes at Brentford either. Whole game.
No, nothing, mate.
Exactly.
Nothing.
Exactly. Exactly.
Nothing. It's insane. It's insane.
I'm gonna stick my neck out here. I think we nick this 1-0. I think we're
I hope
gonna
so.
break through.
Same as last season. Win it near the end.
I'll tell you what. Talking about
breakthrough.
Yeah, talking about strikers. I love watching Danny Ings. The movement, brilliant.
Yeah. Yeah. Really upset we didn't get him. Really upset.
Yeah.
It's our ball ref. Trying to get a foothold in the second half again.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we seem to be. We're maintaining possession here quite well, and we're looking to get forward again. So, I think we're gonna. I just have those gut feelings you get where you just feel like you're gonna nick a goal somewhere.
Yeah, I'm with you, mate.
Oh,
I can't tell you.
Mine's flicked ahead a couple of seconds of you guys. Jesus Christ.
Antonio's down.
Yeah. Hopefully it's a knock and not anything like his hamstring. I've got a lovely view of his arm here, to be honest.
Yeah, if he has to go off,
Oh my God.
You know what he'll do? He'll bring Vlasic on for Antonio and stick Bowen up top. And again, I maintain that Bowen as a striker is never the answer, in my opinion, not in the Premier League.
the only
yell, Antonio.
But what else can we
Get
do,
out, mate.
Dennis, at the moment? Just
What's that with him?
His ankle. The physio moving his ankle around.
Let's have a look. Here's the replay.
Here we go. Mickey
Trent
out for the season with a
Keep
broken
Trent
ankle. No
Keane.
striker.
Yeah.
Thank you, David Sullivan.
I don't see. Didn't
Keep
look like
Trent on
much.
him.
Well, Zuma shrugged off his ankle earlier, so hopefully Mickey can do the same. But Mickey's a little less robust than Zuma.
It's just one of those impact injuries. I think it's anything.
I think he just got clipped on the outside of the foot, like the metatarsal. It's an odd one, but it is a foul, and it probably should be a yellow card, if I'm being honest.
He looks all right, I think.
Yeah, he should be limping a little bit. He'll be all right.
Looks like he'll run it off, I think.
But hopefully they give a fucking foul for that.
Usually they haven't. But usually when it's more of an impact injury, it's just a sore one, and
I think
Lanzini on anyone? Would anyone bring Lanzini on?
No, Lanzini is not the player that I would bring on for this game personally.
If we were going back to sub, like the boys have said, Vlasic.
Vlasic, he's just someone with a bit of energy and just something a bit different. He runs at them.
I'd get Vlasic on for Fornells.
Spot on.
Yeah,
I like Vlasic. I've received a lot of flack on Twitter for my defending of Vlasic, but I think we have short memories because Fornells, Bowen, and Benrahma were all in the same situation of reasonable price tags and a lot of pressure from the beginning. And I think we should have forced Vlasic the same, and Krul as well. From what you said, Tommy, I have a feeling that Krul was brought in as the understudy for Rice to then allow Rice to progress into Souček's position, like you were saying. I do think that Krul was brought in understudy there because he was a defender originally.
Yeah, well, he can cover both. At a pinch, Krul could play centre back.
Yeah, but I think for his age, I think we brought him in as an understudy for Rice. It's not good enough.
Oh, Mickey! Oh,
Go on. Oh,
unlucky. He's won a corner, isn't he? He's done well there.
He did brilliantly against Pickford there to force. It looks like a corner's been given.
Corner.
Yeah.
It could have gone in, couldn't it? Trickled in. Yeah.
Yeah.
Bro,
Do you know what he's done brilliantly here? If you're watching the replay, kept his hands well away from the keeper.
yeah, he's not found him, and you know, goalkeeper's got to get an easy ride with referees, but
Yeah, remember
Pickford is not happy right now. I'm a little bit behind you. He is not happy about that.
Don't care.
None of the goalkeepers
No,
are.
I'm
these
saying,
days.
I'm going to see the replay here. He's not happy about something.
Connor!
get in!
We've scored. Yes.
Get in, Huggy!
Yes,
I'm not even bothered about fantasy points. We are 1-0 up. Great.
fantastic.
Matt's
Great
in
header
shock.
by Angelo there.
Matt, move.
As far as I'm concerned, that counts as an assist for Antonio.
He should get something, but he won't get on fantasy points. It's a great corner.
Yeah, I get no fantasy points, but who cares? We're winning. We're winning.
Go on,
It's a great header by Ogbonna.
It's about time too. You know, we started scoring from set pieces again because we were the kings of it last season.
And that's the problem.
Brilliant.
That's the problem with zonal marking. No one was marking him. He just
Well, it was Godfrey. It was Godfrey. Godfrey should have been.
He got a
But I
run on
think-
Godfrey.
No, and plus Godfrey's short. I think Godfrey's about 5'11". Godfrey's not a big centre back. and what Ogbonna's 6'3".
5'11's not short. Take it from a 5'6" bloke. Okay.
Well, I'm 5'10", but for centre back, that's why I play fullback now, not centre back anymore. Because 5'10".
We're going for a
Did I
second.
not say? Did
I'll
I not
tell you,
say? With
not
the
to
words
gloat.
that came out of my mouth, I am not convinced by Ben Godfrey. I don't know enough about him, but from what I've seen, I'm not convinced.
Whoa! Hit it, Benny!
Oh, another block.
Not to gloat, but my gut feeling was that it was coming.
Whoa! We still got 15 minutes to hold on, Tommy.
No, I mean
I thought
the
that ball
point
went
that I
out.
felt. The point. I mean the point that I felt that we were going to score.
Right.
I
I can't
one was
believe
coming.
Yeah, I understand you, Tommy. Yeah, the pressure was building.
Yeah,
Yeah, it was.
the way we were playing.
We
It was
still need a
coming.
second. We still
We
need
don't
a
hold
second
on, do
goal.
we? Normally, we don't hold on a lot these days. Come on, get a clean sheet.
We
Man.
need a second goal, mate.
Yeah, look, of course, a second would be brilliant.
In fact,
Right.
3-0 is the most dangerous scoreline, so let's keep it at 2-0.
Yeah, but still, fuck it. You got to be happy now with this 75
Oh, yeah.
minutes on 1-0.
Suchek took the stud to the face there from Rondon.
Owen is down.
He got done by two players, didn't he?
That was nasty by Ron. I don't think it was a deliberate. Or was it?
Let's have a look.
Give him a red anyway, just to be safe.
No, it's not
Oh
deliberate.
no, it was accidental. He got studs to the
It's
face.
nasty though.
He,
It's nasty.
he looked like he was trying to push off, didn't he? Put his foot back to push off.
Yeah,
No,
it was
he's
accidental.
not-
It was
no, he doesn't-
completely.
No,
That's
he doesn't.
completely accidental. That's
Bloody hell,
completely. I just
wouldn't
hope
wanna-
it didn't go
yeah.
near his bloody eye.
He's the last player you want a foot in the face from. Look at the size
He
of
got
him.
it. He got it on his upper lip. It looks like.
He could have lost a few teeth in there. God knows.
He could
If
have
you
damaged
remember,
an eye.
Balbuena got sent off for clearing the ball last season. So
Yeah.
based on that logic, that should be a 5-game ban.
Let's wait for the Everton subs. Everton are going to start making subs now, I'm sure. Benitez will bring on one or two guys now.
Yeah,
Because he's a manager that makes substitutions. What would I
Can I
give?
just-
They'll bring on. They should bring on Gordon. I mean, Gordon should have started ahead of Iwobi. Iwobi is terrible. I don't know how he's a 30 million player.
Yeah,
Yeah,
can I
but-
just say as
yeah.
well, just while we've got a break in play, that I have to talk about Ogbonna a little bit because he's one of my favourite players at West Ham and has been for a while. He's an unbelievable centre back. I thought last season he was absolutely unbelievable for us. And I love Ogbonna. What a player he's been for us. He's a people talk about West Ham legend. Ogbonna's a West Ham legend as far as I'm concerned.
A good block.
I think we got a good choice of 4 centre halves, haven't we? They're all.
I'm the other way, Tommy, where I say I think the term legend is thrown around too much. I'd call him a hero or a great, but
Fine, whatever
for me-
way you want to.
Yeah. But for me, there's only about 6 or maybe 7 West Ham legends. But I get your sentiment, and definitely, I think he had a rough couple of years after signing for us. His first season was great. His second seasons were very, but he's been brilliant since then.
Slow it down,
No,
folks.
Yeah.
And having a left-footed centre back is always a massive advantage. I mean, I think the long-term future at this moment will be with Zuma and Diop. They seem to have a good chemistry together. But it is a massive advantage having a left-footed centre back.
Exactly, yeah.
And I'll tell you what, people become obsessed about average age of a team, and I understand it up to a point. But if you look at the job that the likes of Ogbonna and Cresswell have been doing for the team,
Play
players
Johnson.
in their 30s,
Johnson, that is top
there's
class
always a
defending.
place. There's always a place for experience in a team. You look at the way Ogbonna.
I'm just concerned about us giving him too long a contract. His contract's up soon. Winterburn syndrome. Call it Winterburn syndrome.
Hang on a minute, Dawson's coming on.
I would have no qualms. I would have no qualms whatsoever.
Dawson coming on Sushek?
Why hasn't Crow come on?
Crow's not on the bench.
But
Crow didn't make it, yeah.
Noble are not on the bench though.
So where the fuck is Dawson going to play?
Centre back. We're going to go 3 at the back with 3 midfield, 1 centre mid. I don't get that. I really don't.
And Gordon's come on for Iwobi for Everton.
I'm worried about that. I'm now worried there's going to be a vacuum in the middle that Decore is just going to gobble up now.
Yeah.
I mean, he is Thanos in that midfield now.
Okay.
Unless Dawson's playing CDM, which again,
no, he's not.
He terrifies me.
No, he's not playing CDM. I think.
No.
See, why could you not? You could have brought Diop on to play CDM there.
No, I think we've gone to 5 at the back, but it's just having Rice as the sole centre mid I mean, he's talented enough, but you're up against bloody Decore and Allen there. That's no day off. They're quick midfielders. Both very good.
That's where we want Antonio. Sorry to interrupt. That's where we want him, in those channels. Get him out wide.
Oh, he's gone off. But he's still going.
He's still sliding. There's something.
He's done brilliantly there. Oh.
Yeah.
There's something wrong in that touchline because Ben Rama went down then, didn't he? Done his hand in.
Slippery over that side,
he's down there. Slippery around there.
Well, Mickey did it unbelievably well to get to
he's I've just seen it. Oh, he's done brilliantly. He
slipped off and still got the ball before he went out.
Oh, Dawson!
He's rolling around a roller skate,
and his wife down the right down the left touchline, didn't he? Bloody hell!
That's where we want him. That's where we want him.
Song, I get knocked down, but I get up again. He went down about 3 times there and got back up.
Good old Chuwamba.
Chuwamba, yeah.
He's there. Son is there. The Tottenham game, the bloody git. He's there. Son. They're just showing him. He's meant to be out, isn't he?
Well, Steve Bruce. Go on, Steve Bruce. Legend.
Yeah, Darren, Crow's not on the bench, mate, or Noble. We're limited on centre midfield options today.
I know, but I'm not sure I like this change of formation.
I'm not comfortable at all with just having Rice on his own midfield to handle, considering he was dropping deep and helping the defence anyway. We are more or less playing 6 at the back now at the minute.
Yeah, I mean, I would have had no problem with Diop coming on to play alongside Rice.
There's now a gap in the midfield where you got 4 up, you got 3 up top and 4.
So what we're gonna have now essentially is that Fornells is gonna drop in beside Rice. I'll bet you.
I would have done that, brought on Yarmolenko and just asked Fornells with his work rate just to sit back and just cover up, alongside Rice, and like you said, bring on Yarmolenko or bring on Batic. But
even though I know it's okay because you guys are ahead of me, I did have my head in my hands at that corner because I thought that was going to go in.
Yeah, Godfrey should have done better actually from that one.
There we are. Like I said, not convinced, Bill. 2 words.
Antonio should go down a bit more often.
Always, Jazz. Always. Yeah, he should. Especially with a big man like that, he'd pick up some fouls.
He doesn't get anything. Yeah.
Is Townsend?
Oh, come on, come out for a goalie.
But look.
The one thing I will say is we have got a group of bloody good defenders.
Look at the space we've got.
Come on.
Look at how nicely. Look at how nicely we're playing out of the back. When was the last time we've been seeing? The last couple of seasons, how nicely we're moving out the back. Before it would have been hoofed or just lost, and look at that. Even if it comes to nothing, it's just nice to see.
This game is really open. The space that Ben Rama had then.
I'm assuming this comes to nothing because I was going to say I was getting excited because Benny was in so much space.
Yeah, there's a possibility here now we could really catch them on the break and killer goal.
If we play the right pass at the right time, there's a second goal for us. we play the balls at the right time. We're clinical. There's the second goal here.
Yeah, we're starting to get into squeaky bum time now, aren't we?
Bring Vlasic on, mate. Extra
Great
pace.
header by
Bring him on.
Cresswell there. He's Gordon.
Well done, Rice.
For those that have seen there's only one Jimmy.
Oh,
Right. Give it to Gordon. Give it to
Whoa,
Gordon.
look at that. Whoa.
It's quality.
Yeah.
Yeah, but let everyone keep underrating him. Don't worry about it. We're fine.
I thought I was watching the 1970 World Cup then.
Yeah.
Darren, there's 7 minutes plus stoppage time. Well, it's probably 6 because I'm a little bit behind, but
yeah.
Happy with the point, lads?
No, you'd be really devastated with the point. No, wouldn't you?
I used to say these things make me feel better before anything happens.
Well done. Turn.
I think if anything, we'll score again, and I'm going to say that now. If there's another goal, I think we'll get it.
Oh, mate. Well, you were right earlier, and I'm praying you were right this time as well, mate.
don't ride your luck, Tommy.
No, they're going to have to throw the kitchen sink at us.
Yeah, and the thing with Benitez is always an attacking manager. I am surprised with how open Everton are. I mean, his teams are always fairly open, but they are so open today, Everton. They were for the taking.
Benitez is usually pragmatic and I'd say I wouldn't say he's attacking, mate. He's quite.
Go on, here we go. Referee, come on.
The ref's playing on, I think. Ref's playing on. Good advice.
Come on, Rice. Come on, Declan. Have a go. Here we go. Come on, Crest.
Back post. Back post. Here we go. Oh,
corner. Okay.
That's another couple of minutes wasted.
Good header. Oh, it was Digne actually at the back post.
Now we've got Dawson on as well for corners. And
Dawson's are just absolutely shithouse it in.
It comes off his arse or something.
we're even more threatening from set pieces now.
Yeah.
And they're all.
I don't what with Soucek. I still think Soucek was a threat. I think it's just Dawson has that just knack of just being there.
Yeah, Dawson just where other people.
He has to paraphrase Ian Dowie. He has being
Zuma as well.
He has being
Zuma.
That should have gone in. That should have gone in.
That was.
Is it another corner? No.
That should have gone in.
No, still in
It's
play.
it's a deflected corner again.
Oh, you're a little bit ahead of us.
Yeah, Matt's ahead of us. Matt's ahead of even you.
That was another shot from McBonagh. He's trying to get a hat trick.
Yeah. I think I'm like 5 seconds ahead of you guys.
Well, I remember when we lost 2-0 at Goodison under Pellegrini in 1920. At 1-0, Ogbonna produced like an absolute world-class save from Pickford, and then they went down the other end and made it 2-0. I remember that.
Just waste some time.
That season we want to forget, mate.
It's not all horrendous.
Oh, I fucking hate short corners. We haven't taken it yet, but I just hate them.
Yeah, it's a waste.
Oh, no, we went direct. All right.
Oh, good.
Go on, Ricey. Oh,
shoot.
Okay. Ricey was just...
Waste a bit of time. I don't mind that.
It's a waste of short. It's a risk of short corner when you push your 3 centre backs up.
Yeah.
And you've got those. It's a big risk, playing a short corner.
It's like Southampton away last season where we had like a free kick stoppage time.
Would you put it past Rice for that to have been tactical? To say shit, we've got.
Lanzini's coming on for Ben.
We're
making 2 substitutions.
Would you put it past Rice?
Spoiled.
Would you put it past Rice that was tactical? That he's just decided, fuck it, everybody's up. I'm just going to clear it out, and we can get position.
Past him. No.
Fucking the clock's going so slow. Bloody hell.
87 minutes plus, so 3 minutes plus stoppage.
We're probably going to get 4 minutes at least, aren't we?
Well, it's been a few blood breaks in play and obviously a few subs as well.
It depends. The Jamie Carragher will be in the touchline with like a board saying 15 or something.
Carragher? Jamie Carragher?
Yeah, no, Everton fan, isn't he?
Used to be. He's not now.
No, he's Liverpool through and through now, isn't he?
He used to be Everton, but he's not. He's Liverpool through and through.
I think it's Everton tattoos say otherwise, but... I think he'd rather Everton win than West Ham.
I'll tell you what about Carragher, though. Fair play to him. He actually talks really highly of West Ham.
Carragher and Neville are 2 of the best pundits out there. I keep saying that. They're brilliant, in my opinion.
The worst is that Jamie O'Hara on TalkSport.
No. The absolute worst pundit of all time in the history of ever is Jamie Redknapp.
Ooh.
Close second, Jermaine Genus, then James.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Well
Ooh.
played.
Come on,
boys.
come on.
Come
Come
on.
on.
Come on.
Go on, Bowen.
Come on. Oh, what a save.
What a save from Pickford. Fucking
That's not what I want to
wow.
hear. That's not what we want to hear. I was hoping maybe Bill, a sick person would pop up, but we Charles just screaming, "It's the goal!"
Yeah. Corey comes in for a shit
Tell
house.
you what, that was a clever little effort from Bowen, just trying to find that far post.
Great save.
Oh, great save by Pickford.
He's
really,
made a
really
couple
good
of
save.
cracking saves.
Brilliant by the dodgy lollipop lady kit. You know,
All right, where is Cresswell? Why is Fornells taking this?
why not?
Maybe Cresswell's hanging back. I don't think we've got too many in the box. Oh, we have actually.
Oh,
Good header by Godfrey, I think it was.
Yeah.
Right, snippers out the pitch.
Cleared up the pitch, but they've got everyone back, Everton, so we'll be fine.
Good to Bowen. Good to Bowen.
Just, that's it. Well done, Johnson. Just get it. I don't care if he's kicked up.
Yeah, that's sensible play.
Yeah, just do not lose it there. Don't try and be clever and lose possession.
No, exactly.
We've got to stop these-
Mastered
I
his
think-
Fernando fucking player.
these crosses.
Played really well again.
Can every deflection's been going into them as well.
Johnson's had a really good game today.
Yeah, Townsend with a brilliant cross again, and that's well cleared by Johnson, who we've just talked about.
Johnson,
they're gonna-
you can see with Johnson, he's a natural left or natural right back.
No, without a doubt. Yeah, there's no two ways about it.
I think he's been in the gym, Johnson. Looks a bit more full out.
Yeah, he's a
Yeah,
big lad.
yes, yeah, spot on, mate.
Yeah,
Spot on.
but if you see Johnson in person, he's actually a really big guy.
All right.
What have you seen him up close? Then,
Not me, but I've a couple of other lads I was talking to that were at some of the pre-season stuff. You know, where you can get up close to the player. And they've been saying that actually Ben Johnson's actually a really big lad.
One guy is a little bit different because he's a goalkeeper, but you didn't realise it. It's like I met Robert Green when I was like 15 at a West Ham Open Day, and my God, the guy was a fucking monster. Whereas on the TV, he looked very average build, and even for a keeper, didn't look that big. But I met him, and he had like shoulders the size of my skull. Like the guy was a monster, and I was
you
just
get
like,
that. Yeah, you get that sometimes when you meet someone in person. You go, "Jeez."
4 minutes, lads.
like fucking hell, yeah. Like you know, it
Well,
was like
that-
the open
I-
training thing at West Ham.
For example, and not a West Ham player, but Luke Shaw. He looks small, but he's about 6'2" when I saw him. He's massive.
Is he? Oh.
Yeah, he's huge. I thought he was going to be like 5'10" or.
Oh, well
like,
done,
yeah,
Prezi.
yeah.
No,
No,
run
he
out.
slipped in.
Ooh, well done.
Brilliant. Oh no! Oh, what a block!
Hey,
Unbelievable
look,
block by Zuma.
especially the arms behind the back. You know,
That went
brilliant
out, Bill.
defending.
That went out.
That was
ball
a
went out.
massive error from Cresswell. Jesus
I thought it went
Christ.
out.
That's an unbelievable block by Zuma, though. That was going
Oh,
Hands
Jesus,
behind-
Joshua, what are you doing?
great.
Hands right behind the back.
Yeah,
You know,
Zuma
that
was
going on
amazing.
target
there.
by Gray.
Big chief.
Yeah, I maintain
Brilliant
that
block.
Zuma was a centre back signing we should have made years ago.
Yeah.
Like years ago, when Reed was like 18-19 season, this is the caliber of defender we needed to come in for Winston
That
Reed.
bloody Didier Deschamps kicked him out of the French squad, the sap, innit he? Because he joined us. Stupid
Oh, what
idiot.
a touch. What a touch, Mickey, that is.
Antonio heading for the corner.
He's the same
Well,
manager, didn't
he's
like
so
to
good at
pick Pie
keeping-
either, did he?
Well done, boys. Just keep it there.
Which way are you going, Antonio?
He's keeping possession.
I'm worried about him sometimes. What are you doing? Oh, played.
Well
Well
played.
done.
Go on,
Bowen's been,
Lanzini.
Bowen's been awesome.
Ah, Lanzini's so lightweight.
Well,
Come
just
on.
for the shit house, bring on Yarmolenko for the last couple of minutes.
Win it, win it. Oh, no, don't lose it there.
all the
Mickey, when you
deflections.
meant to hold up the ball, you meant to run
Well done,
towards
Nuggy.
the opponent's goal,
Oh,
not
played,
your
son.
own.
Played,
Yeah,
son.
well done.
Come on, let's get to that second ball. Windows 50-50s.
I think Yarmolenko will come on, or yeah, because
We've only got one free
Black,
kick, haven't we?
he'll make it's 92 minutes coming up, so he'll want to
we've done it.
waste a little bit of time. He'll want to waste a little bit of time. Third sub will come on now, definitely.
Rafa's going nuts, isn't he? That's his chance
What's
gone, I think.
what's
Should
the
hold on
decision
now.
there?
Oh, go on.
Yarmolenko.
I love how Yemo's like, and he's like, yeah.
Is
playing down
Yarmo
again.
coming on?
Yeah,
Come on,
Yarmolenko's coming
Yarmo.
yeah. Oh, no, back
Everything that
post.
man
Coleman.
does is amazing.
I hate to bring up the Brentford game, but we can't let that happen again.
I like Coleman. Good player.
Yeah, I like him off that poor header even more so, mate.
Yeah. How much of a sickener would it be if the same thing from the Brentford game was to happen here again?
Oh.
No, stop it. No.
Yeah, mate. Yarmolenko's coming on for Bowen.
Yarmolenko's on to score with his first touch. Here we go.
Bones played excellently again.
Actually, Yama's good at holding on to it into the corners and stuff. He's good
Yeah.
like that. Yeah. Or there's Masuaku having a little chuckle in the back. Should we bring Masuaku on, Tommy?
Good to see him back on the bench and available.
Yeah.
As long as
You know
we
what?
stand in the
Talking about
corner, don't move.
talking about Masuaku, I think that we underutilize him against those hard to break down teams. You know, we're a little bit where those teams that are well organized in blocks.
Yamo,
That little bit of individual dribbling skill is the thing that can, break through defenses. And I think that we do need to, incorporate Masuaku a little bit when we get into those
first thing Yarmo
kind of games.
does is give it
yeah,
to
did you
an
see that?
defender.
Yeah, gave the ball away.
First thing he does, gives it away.
Yeah.
Declan Rice.
Well done, Rice. Brilliant.
On,
And driving. And
John.
driving. Go on, Rice. Oh, brilliant.
Go on.
Oh,
That's
that's brilliant.
Go on, Mickey.
Go back in the corner, Mickey. Remember the Palace game away.
Oh.
That's fucking stupid. Get in the fucking corner, Mickey.
Right. Well, I'm near enough at 94 minutes. So what is happening now?
94
Surely it's over.
The referee's
Mickey's giving the
fucking
ball away
bastard.
completely unnecessarily. Trying to score a goal when we don't fucking need one, when he should have gone in the corner.
corner Everton.
Corner for Everton.
Why are we playing 20 seconds? Why?
Pickford up.
Why is it enough time to take? I don't understand this.
Just, we have to wait on 30 seconds for
Even
the
David's
substitution.
like, what's going on here?
30 seconds for the Yarmolenko substitution.
Done.
Oh,
Fuck's sake, man.
this is on Antonio if they score. Remember away at Palace a couple of years back when we just
Yeah.
go in the
When
corner,
he
we just
even
go
held it in the corner and went for
And it's
cross.
all over. That's
Gone
it.
for-
That's all right. We got away with it. That's it. Game
We
over.
did.
3
Good, the
points.
referee-
He's won now.
Yeah.
Time.
Why don't you blow it before the corner's taken? I don't get it. Blow it, mate.
Doesn't matter. We got the 3 points. Everton
Fucking hell,
West
I'm
Ham
a bit
won.
nervous at the. We really needed this, mate. Really needed this.
Yeah, we really needed the 3 points.
Done and done.
Let's see where we are in the league.
Yeah.
Hang on.
Yeah.
Well, I have to
absolutely.
say,
Let's,
boys,
have we leapfrogged Everton into 9th?
To be honest, that should push us up to 6.
We're
No,
six. We're six.
Yeah,
We're six.
it was going to push us up to 6.
We're only behind Man United by 1 goal.
1 goal. Yeah.
Yeah.
Despite
Well, you know-
despite
Yeah.
them having the greatest
Yeah.
team ever of all time and them not needing Declan Rice.
tell you-
we're
I'll
level
tell
on
you what,
points and
lads.
1 goal behind them.
Oh, Suchek's back on the pitch. He looks battered.
Yeah. I'll tell you what, lads. At the start of the season, how many games has that played?
8 we played so far.
8
Okay,
now,
if you'd have offered me after 8 games to be 3 from 3 in the Europa League, 9 points, and to be in 6th in Premier League, I'd have
We're not
been
3 from
absolutely-
3. We're 2 from 2. But
Or 2 from
save that for Thursday. But you
Yeah,
might have just jinxed
but,
it.
Thursday will be.
Yeah, and
If you'd
Tommy's
offered me 2 from 2,
the same team, isn't it? Same team as last season.
if
but
you'd have
apart
offered me 2
Zuma.
from
Yeah.
2, if you'd have offered probably any West Ham fan, 2 from
Yeah.
2 in Europa League and 6th
Yeah,
in the Premier League.
I'd say
after 8 games.
don't I wouldn't count your eggs before that. If we're at this sort of stage chasing, in and around that between 4th and 8th place in January, February, I'd say fantastic. But it can drop off quickly with an injury to Rice, Soucek, and Antonio. One of those three away from.
Hold on, you're getting ahead of it. I'm talking about right now.
Yeah,
We're fine. Right now, we're 2 from 2 in the Europa League. We're sitting 6th after 8 games in the Premier League. We're doing, I think, absolutely brilliantly.
Oh yeah. And also, as I said, I don't know if you were on something, but I was saying to Bill that if we had had Mickey up top against United and had an actual referee against Brentford, I'm not going to say we would have won those games, but we certainly wouldn't have lost them. And we could be sitting, on the edge of the title hunt near enough.
Yeah, but given where we are, I think very, very happy. And that's a great result to go up to Goodison, on the back of what happened against Brentford when we could have started moving in the wrong direction down the table. To go to Goodison Park and get the 3 points, I think is fantastic.
Oh, massive, yeah.
Yeah, and I felt it thoroughly deserved as well. So I don't think we shit us there. For we played very well, and if anything, if we took our chances, it could have been even more comfortable for us.
Why is Sky making an issue here of the challenge on Pickford by Antonio that led to the corner for the winning goal? It's not a fucking foul. Get over it.
Yeah. James, thanks for joining me. What you made of the second half?
Good, mate. Good. Angela Bonner proved me wrong this week because last week I was ripping into him, said he weren't good enough. And him and Zuma today were first class, mate, let's be honest.
Yeah.
Kirk Zuma, mate, tell you what, it's the best 25 million West Ham's spent for a long time, like, especially at that centre-half position. I think like we deserved it. We was a much better team. We got the goal. It's a scrappy 1-0 win. Like, it don't look pretty, but we got the job done. Do you know what I mean? Antonio frustrates me, mate. He really does. He's running around like an headless chicken sometimes, and sometimes we need him to use his loaf, kick the ball in the corner, and see the game out. Do you know what I mean? And
yeah, I mean, I don't know if you could hear us, James, but I was, we were going crazy at Antonio at the end.
Yeah.
He's trying to score a goal, when we don't need one, right at the death, when he should be turning back and running into the corner, running the clock down.
Yeah.
And,
if you remember a few years ago, he done that against Crystal Palace.
Palace away.
Yeah. We were 2 up, and he was trying to be an hero again, and they end up scoring through Zaha. To sort of give you my quick recap before I shoot off, because I have a few pints and enjoy the win. I thought it was very much deserved, mate. I thought he was very good. Yeah. I thought we was good from start to finish. Defensively, was very good, I must admit. And I know we all sort of have our different opinions on Rice Souček thing, but that works today. It just proves it. Like, you just see it miles from when you swap them around. It just doesn't look the same. And when Deck's there and he's got the ball, he's just a phenomenal footballer.
Rice was world class today, lads. Just world class.
And we have got a world class player in our ranks, and we've got to appreciate it why he's still here, because he is world class. And great win, 3 points. I think on Thursday, and then the big one next Sunday against them lot. So,
did you hear about Son? That story wasn't right, was it? With Son, he's bloody playing now.
Yeah.
I thought it was too good to be true.
But what I'll do, I'll shoot off, lads. Thanks for having us on. Take care.
See you soon.
Enjoy the 3 points. Enjoy the 3 points.
Get me on sometime, James. Yep.
You know what? talking about Antonio, I've just checked the average positions for the game, and you wouldn't believe it that Benrahma had a higher position up the pitch, average position up the pitch than Antonio. Antonio was almost joint with, and this is what we repeat saying. He's a brilliant striker, but we need someone to run. Today's a classic day where you need that run the line striker. Somebody's going to push the defence back, move across between the centre backs towards the full backs, and that's why we just don't look toothless. I mean, that's why I think we all agree that even though we love Antonio, we do need that plan B and that deadly striker like Danny Ings that's going to be continuously making those runs in behind the defenders and just occupying them, because as a defender, when you've got that striker that doesn't stop running in behind you, you've almost got an eye in the back of your head all game, because you're not only waiting for him to receive it, but this guy's going to be getting in behind you, and it just makes your life difficult. And that's what I don't think we did today. I don't think we made life difficult for the Everton defenders. And then, I mean, apart from the corner goal, but I mean, that's just more for me that the fact that they got Godfrey instead of Mina, because I definitely don't think that Ogbonna would have beaten Mina at the post. But like you say, you can only play the team that you've got in front of you. So we took advantage of it.
I'm going to have to shoot off, guys. My battery's about to die. But listen, thanks for having me on.
No worries, mate.
And enjoyed being on with you guys, and we had some very interesting conversations.
Nice one. Thanks for coming on, mate. We'll see you soon.
Look after yourselves.
Bye, mate.
See you later.
But Matt, that striker you were talking about was Sacco, wasn't it, for us? Do you remember? That's the one.
Brilliant, absolutely brilliant. A lot of people forget that Payet's season. A lot was to do with Sacco, who used to drift between the two centre backs, pull them to one side, and create that space behind, wasn't it? Yeah, and especially he managed to make even Enner Valencia look good, which is a hell of a skill.
As I like to call him,
he's in Turkey at the moment, I think.
Yeah, he's playing Fenerbahce. So
he's escaping paying his child.
Yeah, he's got still not very good still.
Yeah.
Remember when he got subbed up?
Yeah.
Do you remember when he got subbed off to try to avoid the getting arrested for his child support that he hadn't paid?
Well, the other great one is he scored a hat trick with Fenerbahce to get them into the Europa League, and I'm like, that's it. We'll get them in the first knockout round, and he'll score the goal that knocks us out in the London Stadium, and it'll be like Sullivan.
Sacco's Lamborghini is still in the car park. I heard. I don't know. He lost the plot, didn't he? In the end, he went mad. I think.
Yeah.
Well, what it was in summer 2016, Sullivan did the typical, oh yeah, we're going to sign this 30-goal a season striker, and it pissed off Carroll and Sacco. Carroll still tried to make an effort of it, but I think Sacco just refused to train. He was going to sign to West Brom for like decent money, like 15, 16 million, which would have been a great return of investment. And he turned up ridiculously overweight and failed several aspects of the medical due to his lack of fitness, because he hadn't trained all summer. He'd just been on holiday drinking and eating. And then he was so unfit, he got fit for us, scored within a couple of minutes against Man United, and then immediately got injured. And then same thing happened again. He came on against Arsenal second half of the season for 45 minutes and got injured. So like that was the Sacco story. It was all Sullivan's doing. Sullivan going in the press saying, we're going to sign Lacazette, we're going to sign Bakker. Sacco just had a chip on his shoulder and was like, well, if you don't want me, I'm not going to train, and refused to train. So
yeah. I know he was moody. I wish we had Nicholas Anelka at some stage. I remember watching him at Upton Park. Great player. Bit moody.
He had that Thierry Henry style movement that I always say, no one dragged centre-backs wide or made life difficult for a centre-back like Thierry Henry. Movement. I mean, when I used to go watch the Arsenal a couple of times, I know it's very different watching it in the stadium compared to on TV. And that's where you could really pick up that Thierry Henry off-the-ball movement. He just never stopped. And you could just see centre-backs, looking at each other going, pick him up, you pick him up, I pick him up, and that's what we lack. We're just very static when it comes to Antonio. And of course, you understand that Antonio looks after himself because of his hamstrings. At the end of the day, it's something that, he doesn't have that full tank like he used to do, not only because of his size, I mean, he's a big boy, but his hamstrings, and Ping's one of those, and we know that that's, another 5 or 6 months out.
Yeah, Jimenez is another one I got a lot of time for, although after the injury, he's still struggling a bit, I think. But yeah, he's a good player, good team player.
No, good stuff there. Anything else you want to touch on on the game before we finish?
No, just hopefully Newcastle will finish off a nice day for me. So that's it. But good win, much needed win, Bill. Yeah, really, really good. Especially on the back of the United recent home defeat, the Brentford defeat. Yeah, puts us back in the top 6. Really good.
Yeah, it's a good result because Everton, they've been unbeaten at Goodison Park this season. I mean, they were woeful under Ancelotti at home last season, but this season Benitez got it right, and we've gone there and not just shit us there. We've turned up and beaten. In the end, it was a close scoreline, but overall the patterns of play and the whole game itself, we were the better side. So
it's the attitude as well. You can tell they're not on it 100%. They're tired. They'd rather be somewhere else, but they still somehow pull it out, don't they? Keep running, and yeah, they were clumsy. They did the wrong things, but they never stopped running, did they? And somehow,
historically, the international breaks have never done any games, to be honest, have they? Historically, we come back or draw or lose from international breaks, and to come back. I mean, I hate them. I absolutely disgust international breaks. Well, the frequency now they have, and especially for us, when you consider that we're in 3 cup competitions, alongside these international breaks, it's really going to put pressure on us at certain parts of the season. But at the end of the day, if we can get these results, this was a typical game that West Ham would normally lose. We won it. We didn't do anything fantastic. We played well, but we didn't pull up anything. So, I mean, let's take the 3 points. 6, and like I say, the one thing that I will continue to say is that 6th place, if we can keep up there, that's going to make a huge difference to our cup game rotations and our Europa League, because it's going to give us that little bit more leeway. And I think Moyes hopefully will take that flexibility and really give players a rest when they needed it, And hopefully, I would like to say, hopefully this will give a rest to Souček. Maybe his injury will keep him out for a game or 2 and just give him that little bit of a break that we all think he needs.
And don't forget, we're battling with Villa, Everton, Tottenham, Arsenal for that 6th, 7th spot. So today we beat one of our so-called rivals or not, and then
and do you think, Jazz, maybe Brighton or Brentford could be the surprise of this year, like for example Leeds were last year? I mean, they could.
It's going to be difficult for the whole season. If something happens to Tony, I don't think Brentford got anyone else. It's going to be difficult over the whole season, but certainly there's no worry about relegation for any of those teams. I think Brighton manager, a lot of people are talking about him.
Brighton are the ones to watch. They're the ones to watch for me. The way they play and
my prediction for the league is that Brighton, they will do a Leicester to an extent. They won't win the league, but they'll get like Europa League, and then Potter will become the United manager.
Okay.
Graham Potter to be the next Man United manager.
Put a bet on it, mate. Put a bet on it. I think we'll get good odds for that.
Think about it. In this situation, Brighton is Aberdeen in this sort of scenario. Just with
no, I don't mean you're wrong.
And then Potter becomes the next Fergie. Graham Potter. All he needs to do now is just lose a bit of his hairline and chew more gum, and he is just.
Where did he come from again? Where did he come from?
I can't pronounce it, but some Swedish team.
Right.
Yeah, he took them for the 3rd division of bloody Sweden to the Europa League.
He's like a bit of a Roy Hodgson.
More successful than Hodgson, but
and they didn't win the overall tie, but they beat Arsenal in the Europa League in one of the legs. They didn't get through. But they beat him.
He's a good manager. I do make you laugh when Spurs fans are going, "Ooh, don't want Graham Potter." I was like, Graham Potter is better than some of the managers that are rejecting you value for money as well. It's because he's managing an unfancy Brighton team. Like honestly, with the exception of a couple of players, they don't have too many decent Premier League footballers in that team, let alone Premier League players like Basuma.
I did a video on this with Euroexpert the other day, and they haven't spent a huge amount of money, Brian.
No.
As well.
And when they have, they spent very
A
wisely.
shitload of players in. He's made the players have got better.
They managed to sell Ben White for a good amount, because I like Ben White, but I don't think he's a £50 million centre back in the same way that I don't think Harry Maguire's an £80 million centre back.
I think what's interesting is that they've sold Ben White for 50 million, and then Duffy's just come in like he's never been gone to Celtic for a year, struggled up there, and then come back and just doing exactly what Ben White was doing in that 3-man defence.
And then they've sold White, and their defence has improved.
Yeah,
work that one out.
No, and I think that three at the back is giving them the stability in the same way that it gave us stability during a tough time that we had. Remember when Moyes came back in and put his 3 at the back? I think it just gives you that little bit more security, as long as you've got the players to play in that situation.
I think Webster's the better defender than White. I think Arsenal they bought the wrong defender, and especially as we've bought Zuma for half of that money as well.
It's insane.
I mean, what?
It's absolutely insane.
Yeah, no wonder Arsenal's struggling. All right, lads. Dennis, Jazz, Matt, thanks for joining, lads, and come on your irons and bring on the game on Thursday, and then Spurs next Sunday.
Yeah, busy. Lots of games coming up.
All right. Well, thanks everyone for watching. Subscribe to Gash Football if you're new, and we'll see you soon. Take care.
Thanks for getting on, guys. Take care of yourself. Have a good one, mate.
Bye.